What's your plan for match day?
What's your plan B? If you're drinking, don't drive.
Welcome to the SCG for the Plan B Regional Bash. It is a bit of a glum day here in Sydney, but the rain has stayed away for the time being. We're looking forward to bringing you three fantastic matches of cricket and some of the best regional and country cricketers in New South Wales that get to prove their wares on the middle of the SCG pitch. The first match we've got is kicking off in about 3 or 4 minutes, and it's a local derby up there in Newcastle. The Lake Macatac up against the Newcastle Blasters, and then following up from that, we have the Arana Outlaws against the ACT Aces at 2 o'clock, and the final will be happening at 6 p.m. tonight. So lots of cricket, so strap yourselves in if you're working from home or you're in the office. Maybe throw the headphones on and listen to what will be some quality cricket here this afternoon. My co-commentator for the first little while is the cricket manager down in the Illawarra region, Paul Broccoli. Paul, lovely to be chatting cricket with you here this morning, mate. We've got a plethora of matches, some entrees, main courses, and desserts of cricket, I guess you talk about, and some great young and older men on stage here. What should be a really good day of cricket here at the SCG.
Exactly, Jack. Pleasure to be here, and yes, a full menu of cricket, as you could say, for the whole day here on this, like you say, overcast Monday morning at the SCG, the home of cricket, and the boys from the bush are back in town.
That's right. We've got the Lake Macatac. They're the reigning champions in the Plan B Regional Bash. They took out the title last year, although their opponents, the Newcastle Blasters, were the winners in the 17-18 edition, and you can see Newcastle on show there. And a lot of these players have had a lot to do with one another. We're speaking to the both captains, and they train and play with each other, these two sides. But certainly great for the Newcastle region to have two sides in this semi-final stage, or the preliminary final stage of this Plan B Regional Bash. It's I guess a great advertisement for cricket up there. Yeah,
Newcastle area has been very strong for a long time and continues to be very strong in country cricket. And again, the interesting part about this, or a little side note to this, these two teams playing, is the coach of the Newcastle Blasters actually coaches both these teams outside of today's final. So he's actually chose to decide to go with the Blasters. So that's an interesting side. There should be a lot of chat down there in the dugouts this morning.
Yeah, that's certainly right. We've got Daniel Arms and Marcus Hainsworth that are the two opening batsmen that are making their way out onto the middle. Both these sides won their two preliminary games to find themselves into the preliminary finals. We saw the Newcastle Blasters. They had a thrilling one-wicket win in their last clash. They made 9 for 107 against the Coffs Coast, who made 9 for 101. And their first round win was a comfortable one. They beat the Macquarie Coast by 7 wickets, having got them out for 94. Lake Macatac similarly have been in good form, winning both of their two games. They won by 4 wickets in round 1 against the Central Coast Rush, and finished a draw against the Northern Inland side in their second game. So 1 win and 1 draw for them. So both of these sides come into this game in form, and a local derby as a player really inspires a lot of players, doesn't it, when you're up against not only mates, but you want to get a bit of bragging rights to move on into the final? Definitely.
There'll be bragging rights, there'll be banter both on the bench and also out in the middle for sure. And it's looking like Daniel Arms will take strike here, the left-hander from the Charlestown club.
I know you played with his old man, and you said he was quite a good cricketer.
Oh, Greg was a very good cricketer. Very, very good cricketer. The New South Wales country rep for sure. Captain there for quite a number of years. So if he's anything, I haven't seen the young fella bat, so if he's anything like his old man, we're in for a really good 20 overs. Hopefully he's there for that.
So the Newcastle Blasters did win the toss, and they decided to bowl first. It's something that we see a lot more in the 2020 game. Teams like to know what they're chasing and how many runs they need to get per over, but we'll see if this is a wise decision. We saw Fairfield Liverpool do that in the one-day limited overs cup yesterday, and then found themselves chasing 285. So we'll see what transpires here. So Aldous starts up with a wide, and it's gone way down the leg side. We'll wait for the call from the umpire, and the batsmen are going to come back for 3.
Get the other bat at 3.
And yeah, so that's going to go down as 3 wides.
Nice early nerve start there down the leg side. Get one out of the way.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Not a great start. Probably would have gone for 4 or playing on some of the smaller regional grounds that these boys have been playing up. But the SCG, it did just hold up in the turf a little bit. We've had a little bit of drizzle this morning. You can see the sun trying to poke its way through the clouds there on the eastern side of the ground. But yeah, hopefully that rain does stay away. Just a little bit of a dampish outfield here for Brad Aldous, who is a little bit better this time. This ball crunched over the top. He's got a big chunk of that. It's going down towards the boundary. He's just going to hold up in that outfield. That is the longer boundary there. I think it's about 80 metres, isn't it, Paul? So it's a big hit if you want to get a 4 or a 6 on that side.
Yeah, really let go. Yes, exactly. To the members' side for our viewers there, we're playing on the eastern side wicket, 60 metres to the east side, and to that hit there over the top of covers was an 80-metre hit, probably to 79 by the looks of that. But yeah, very big shot out there and a great shot, taking it on straight away.
Hainsworth getting 3 off his first ball. Always nice when you get a full wide one outside the stumps. This one is driven on the up down to the man at mid-on. There's a shot at the stumps, but they get through for a single. So already a nice little start here for the Lake Macattack. A couple of balls in, and they've already got 8 on the board, so pressure's really kind of off them. Whereas in a lot of T20 games, the bowlers try and really take that advantage early, bowl a couple of dot balls in the first over.
Yeah, the Lake Mac attack here is actually showing really good positive intent to looking to take on Aldous.
Aldous comes in now. This is a good delivery, but it's dug out down the ground. Did well to jam down on that one, did Hainsworth, but well fielded down the ground. That's probably more where Aldous wants to be. Nice and full. Nice and full,
no width, and make them play straight, that's for sure. Give them no width.
It's a pretty big heave down the ground as well, isn't it, Paul? They're not short boundaries down the ground. It's going to take a decent strike down there. Easier to protect as well.
Yes, yeah, looking about 60, 65 metres straight.
So Arms back on strike now, and he decides to shoulder Arms to this one. A length ball outside the off stump. Big hello to everyone that's watching today on the Facebook live stream. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. And yeah, feel free to just drop some comments in below. Any questions you want us to answer. Can't guarantee that Paul and I will be able to answer them.
Well, look, we'll have a crack at anything, won't we, Jack? You're the expert here. You'll be great.
Yeah, apparently expert in inverted commas, I think. But looking forward to a big day of cricket here at the SCG. As Aldous comes in and forward and defending just drops that onto the offside, and a good piece of running again from this pair. Gets them into double figures here in this first over with 1 ball remaining, none for 10. And the SCG it's only just recovered from that wonderful Big Bash final with the Sixers winning the second back-to-back title. And I believe this is the Sixers conference final that we're playing today between the Lake Macattack and the Newcastle Blasters.
Yeah, and I'm sure either one of these teams that go through will be saying, I hope we can follow the Sixers' lead later on tonight in the major final.
This ball's pulled high in the air. He's got a fair chunk of that. That's gone all the way for 6. The first maximum of the day. And Marcus Hainsworth got back and slapped that. He threw the kitchen sink behind it. And it ballooned over fine leg and over the boundary for 6.
Yeah, short ball there, and Hainsworth just got the top edge leading over the deep fine leg for a nice piece of that to go 65, 66 metres on the full. A lovely shot there to get rid of the short ball, and great intent here from the Lake Mac attack. 16 off that first over. We're off to a really good start for them.
Yeah, really good shot there from Marcus Hainsworth. Skippers the Belmont Cricket Club up there in the Newcastle competition. And hasn't really got a chance to get going. It's hard because there's only been 2 preliminary matches here in this Plan B Regional Bash. There's normally a few more for the players to find their groove, but 14 and 0 not out for Marcus. That 0 not out obviously in that game that was called off due to inclement weather. Here's Angus McTaggart from the Paddington end, as this ball's chopped down to third man. There's a little bit of work for the man out there on the boundary, but does well to keep it to just the single.
Doesn't seem to be a lot of movement from the ball, early swing in this early start at 10 in the morning. So looking like a really good wicket to play positive cricket from ball one. So should be a really good score here, I reckon, by the way they're going. If they continue this run rate, it'd be great.
Already 17 on the board off just 7 deliveries. Hainsworth has rocketed to 10 not out of just 3. Let's see what he has up here in the battle against McTaggart. This one's down the leg side. That's going to go down to the boundary for 4. Wonder if he got a bit of bat on this, or whether this is going to go down as leg byes. So doesn't matter how they come. Just a little tickle on the pad and 4 more to the total.
Yeah, just struggling just straying down the leg side there and just clipping that pad, and the wicket keeper just couldn't get across there in time to take that. That's Ben Balcom there, the wicket keeper, I think.
Yep, that's right. Yep, Benny Balcom wearing number 25 for the Newcastle Blasters today. It hasn't been a great bowling start for the Newcastle boys. Got to try and rectify this. It's 21 already in just the second over. But this is the time as a batting side. If you can get away with a few shots, you can take the attack to the fielding side with the field up. Only 2 players allowed outside the circle in the first 6 overs. You get yourself to 50 or 55, Paul. You're laying a great platform for the rest of the side.
You are setting it up with wickets in hand by that way if you can keep it. But that's how the Blasters will bring it back.
This ball slapped through the offside for 4. That was a cracking shot there by Marcus Hainsworth. Didn't have a whole lot of foot movement, but didn't need to. Just the ball just out there begging to be hit, and that was crunched through cover. Wonderful placement as well. And that raced to the cover boundary for 4.
Excellent cover drive there. Brilliant. Just laid straight into it, right up in the slot, and punched it through the gap there, past short cover to the cover fans for 4.
Ominous signs. Hainsworth 14 from just 6. A great start from the leg Mac attack. Wicket keeper, but then he's hit one straight to mid-wicket. Commentator's curse put the mock on him as he went back and tried to hammer that one over the leg side, and that is an important breakthrough for the Newcastle Blasters. Taking a little bit of punish in this first over as Angus McTaggart, but he does eventually get the last laugh. Hainsworth goes for a quick fire 14 from 7, and Lake Macatak lose their first wicket. It's 1 for 25.
Yeah, just hitting across the line there, just hoying it through mid-wicket, and it was taken by Jacob Montgomery there at short mid-wicket, straight into the breadbasket there on his chest. But yeah, the intent from Hainsworth was to actually really take that up to the Blasters.
Well, a good opening partnership put together, but just wasn't quite at the pitch of that one, and he's disappointed with himself, and he laid a bit of a platform for himself to go on and get that big score, but just going for one big shot too many.
And just as we said there, Jack, you know, it only takes one wicket and then things change. Now the new batter's got to come in. While they've got away to a good start, they would have probably loved to get through the power plays without losing a wicket.
So Josh Westwood is the new batsman, one of the 3 players in the Lake Macatak squad from the Toronto Workers Club, along with the captain Adrian Chadd and Brendan Charlton. And so Josh comes in early. Don't think you ever really expect to come in after 11 balls with 25 already on the board. As a number 3 batsman, sometimes it can be 1 for none after 1 ball or 1 for 5, but not the worst position to come in.
No, and he's got time to build an innings here, which will be great. So a very good top order bat.
So Arms is at the non-strikers, and he's 3 off 4. Waits patiently as we see McTaggart by the last ball of his first over. And a little bit of a confusion there as he nudges that one off the hip, and they decide against a single. But still a very good over there for Lake Macatak. 9 coming from it, 4 of those being leg byes and a wicket. They're 1 for 25 after 2. Arms is 3. Westwood yet to score.
Yeah, it's great to see McTaggart in his first over pick up a wicket and make that breakthrough for the Blasters. Just gets them back into the game a little bit now, and a little bit of chirp will happen, and then pull the game back a litlittle bit for these, and just see how we go with the rest of the power play.
Yeah, it was an important wicket for them. It could have got away, particularly if Hainsworth was able to hit a couple of more boundaries, come up with a couple of those those big shots, but it wasn't to be. There's going to be a change in the bowling. Aidan Cahill is going to have ball in hand as the Blasters make their first bowling change of the morning. Let's see how he starts here to arms. It's just dropped on the offside as Balcom has to try and retrieve that and take a quick shot at the stump. So arms doing his job. A couple of quick singles has raced him to 4 off just 5.
Yeah, and young Cahill here, he's a dynamic young all-rounder from the from the City Club up there, and yeah, he's quite tough. He's a leading wicket taker there.
Yeah, he's been in good form this season for them. As he bowls now to Westwood, and Westwood slamming that one hard. It wasn't that short really, but he was keen to get on the back foot and try and hammer that one through that mid-wicket region.
Yeah, showing plenty of intent there. Second ball face, and he's looking to pull it through mid-wicket there. They're looking for a big score here, Lake Mac attack.
And that's the shorter boundary that they're hitting to. So no surprise that they're trying to play across the line. Cahill wide of the off stump, and he was fishing out there. Westwood, that was a shot that we've seen a few of the Australian openers play in recent months, Paul. There wasn't a whole lot of foot movement there.
Wasn't a lot of footwork there at all, Jack. Just had dangling the bat out there. I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think the intent is he's looking at that short boundary, which can bring you undone if you're just focusing on that 60-metre boundary. You've got to play right around the wicket.
Cahill in. This is full. This one clipped away to short fine leg. There's a bit of a mix-up. There's a shy at the stumps. They probably need to go to the bowler's end there, but it was going to be a big throw down there for Angus McTaggart, and a little bit of confusion and maybe a little bit of nervousness for this Lake Mac attack side that has lost a wicket and could have lost their second wicket there.
Yeah, that was a little bit dicey there, a little bit of lack of communication, and you're right, a little bit of nerves. Just trying to get back on track now, I think, the Mac attack.
1 for 27 reads this scorecard, and that's well played by Arms, just dropping the hands on that one as it rolls onto the onside for a single. But the Blasters pulling themselves back into this one now after a bit of an explosive start. Just the 3 singles here from Cahill's first over.
Yeah, he's kept it quite tight here, Cahill, which is good and creating a little bit of pressure.
This ball is slapped down the ground. It's got plenty of air on it, but didn't get it right out of the middle. Just kind of lumped just outside that inner circle that is out there for the players, and they'll finish with a couple. So Westwood looking like he's in for a good time, not a long time. He's played a couple of big shots. He's on 3 off 5 arms, is 5 off 6. And there was 5 runs from that last over. 3 gone. It's been a good start, though, for the Lake Mac attack. They're 1 for 30.
Exactly, mate. And I think Cahill's just brought the Blasters back a little bit there. It was a good over there. Nice, tidy over. Like I say, 5 off it. And the Lake Mac attack's looking ominous to hit that short boundary there. I hope they've got a plan B just in case.
Yeah, they're looking to get after the bowlers at any opportunity. Looking to take advantage of this power play in the first 6 overs. And they've still got another 3 overs of it as well. If they would add another 30 in the next 3 overs, to be 60 after 6 overs would certainly lay a great platform for the rest of the middle order. Johnny Durheim is coming in, bowling left arm over, and this ball is advanced down the track and hit over the top. It's not going to go down to the boundary for 4. They should get 3 on this one, though. It rolls aimlessly close to the boundary just in front of us here at the Paddington end, and the batters get back for 3. So Arms freed the arms on that occasion and moves himself along to 8.
Yeah, another great shot. He was straight over, took it on. There's no one back there. Still in that power play position where there's only 2 out, and he's taken it on down the ground over mid-off. It was a really good shot, good intent. Just didn't quite time it to get the boundary.
Gotta love that as a bowler. First ball, you roll your arm over, you got someone advancing down the track at you. Durheim in once more, and this is defended to the offside. And there's a shot at the stumps, probably a little bit closer than Arms was anticipating there, but did manage to get into his ground quite safely. Here's the replay. Yeah, would have been home. Piece of running here by the Lake Macatac. They've picked up 4 off these first 2 deliveries. And Arms pulls this one out to mid-wicket. If they get onto one of these, Paul, it's going to go sailing. They probably haven't got one out of the middle, playing that cross-bat shot across the line, but the ball might be sailing well into the Bill O'Reilly stand if they are able to get onto one.
Yeah, I think this would suit young Arms if Durham bowls in his arc. For sure, he'll be putting it into the Bill O'Reilly stand or looking to.
That's better line there from Johnny Durham, just cramping the batsman for room. Both these batters still looking to find their groove. Arms probably looking a bit more comfortable than Westwood is. We've seen Westwood play a couple of big shots that haven't really come out of the middle of the bat just of yet. Times that one a little bit better, straight to the man at mid-off, but he's deeper enough at the circle, the inner circle, for them to be able to get through for a single.
Just looks like Durham's putting a little bit of off-speed deliveries there. He's just holding the ball back a little bit on him and just not right, just holding them back on the batters, which is very smart bowling.
Durham in. This ball is hammered through mid-wicket. He got plenty of that one. It's going to be pulled back inside the rope and they'll collect 2 more. So a tidy over there for the Lake Macatac, picking 8 off at 4 gone, 1 for 38. Arms has moved to 11 from 9. Westwood 5 from 8. I guess maybe not hitting the ball right out of the middle, but the great thing with the Lake Macatac innings so far, finding the gaps, not hitting the ball to the man, which you can see quite a lot of in every form of cricket.
Yeah, and real good positive intent where they're running. Yes, we've had a couple of hiccups there where they've sort of communication, but you can just see they're looking to score off every delivery, which is a great way to set up a great platform in this power play setup.
So 38 on the board, 4 gone. That run rate, a very healthy 9.5 and over. Mainly set up by big innings early on from Marcus Hainsworth. He made 14 from 7, hit a big 6 over fine leg in the first over. But it's going to be the skipper, Nick Foster, has got ball in hand and looking to try and get a breakthrough for his side, the Newcastle Blasters.
Yeah, Nick Foster, the current New South Wales country captain. Very good cricketer, quality cricketer.
Comes right arm over the wicket. This ball a little bit short, but did cramp him, Westwood, for room a little bit there as he picks up the single. So Arms finds himself on strike now. He's going to go around the wicket now, Foster to the left-hander. 5 men on the offside. He advances down the track and hits this firmly towards mid-off. Shy at the stumps, but again, they're able to get home. That one probably a little bit tighter than the last couple of quick singles that they've run. So a couple of singles to start here from Foster. And Westwood just tucks that down the ground for another single. So dealing in singles now with a Lake Macatac, looking to score off every ball.
Yeah, they're going at 9 and over, which is a run rate of 9 and over, which is a pretty good start. But Foster's here just tidying it up a little bit here with only 3 singles off the first 3 deliveries. Be interesting to see if the Mac really take him on now these last 3 balls.
Foster in back and looking to sweep across the line. And misses out on that one. Balcom quickly had the bails off, but
wasn't called a leg side wide, and it's only just missed leg stump there. Yes, he moved across the crease.
He's looking to go after Foster. He's backing away and chopping that to the offside. There's a bit of a mix-up. This could be a run-out. But he's just got himself home there. Maybe a little bit of hesitation. Could have proved costly for the Lake Macatac. Second time we've seen that today.
Yes, Westwood was down looking for the single as soon as he hit it, and then Arms has gone definite no, I'm not going to make it. And Westwood just back in time there. Just back.
Yeah, barely got the bat over the line there, but a couple of dots here for the Blasters really pulling themselves back into the contest. Foster in and bowls him. So beautiful delivery there from Foster. And some acrobatic jumping from Balcom, and the Blasters get their second. You kind of felt that it was coming a little bit. Arms was getting a little bit impatient and just tried to use the feet there to thump that ball down the ground, and finds himself being bowled. If he wasn't bowled, I think Balcom would have removed the bails relatively quickly. But good flight there and a good ball by Nick Foster. The captain gets the breakthrough. The second one of the morning. Arms goes for 12, and the Mac attack looking a little bit uncertain now after 5 overs, 2 for 41.
Yeah, that was a quality over from Foster there, just showing his all of his experience there, bowling a quicker arm ball delivery there, and yorking the batsman as the advancing arms and taking out his stumps. That's just sheer pressure. Like 3 off the over, they were still looking to go after them, the Mac attack in this power play setup, and probably created their own little bit of pressure there. Looks like we got Dixon walking to the crease now for the Lake Mac attack.
So a bit of a partnership probably needs to be built by the Lake Mac attack now. They've made a good start, but the last thing they want would be lose another 1 or another 2 wickets here. Would leave them in an uncertain position.
Yeah, I think a really good thing here for the Lake Mac attack is if they just actually start to consolidate their innings now. They've got a reasonable base. They just need to now work it for the next 6 or 7 overs and pick up 6 or 7 an over if they can.
Angus McTaggart is back into the attack, and his first ball is late cut down to third man for a single.
And if they look to do that, Jack, you get the situation here. If they pick up, 7 and over without losing any wickets, then they can have a real rush at the end with wickets in hand. If they stay with this positive intent where they're still trying to hit out and what have you, they can get a bit confused here. The big SCG,
right, yeah.
They're on the big stage now.
So Dixon faces up his first ball. He clips that across the line out to mid-wicket for the single.
There's plenty of room there for 2s and 1s and what have you on this big ground.
Big ground, yeah.
And if they start to build that, I think you'll find that they'll build a big innings. And I think that'll be the Mac attack's plan, I would say, for the next 6 overs. Let's not try and lose a wicket and just really build a solid platform for the start of our first game.
Big tag it to Westwood, who's back and defending this time. He was thinking about the single, but not one on offer there. So it's been a nice little fight back here from the Newcastle Blasters. Let's not forget that 16 were taken off the first over. And since then, they've been able to take 2 for 27 off the last 4.5.
Yeah, they started off at 9s, and then the Blasters are bringing it back. They're scoring at 7s now.
This ball driven on the up down to mid-off for the single. Well timed there by Westwood. So Westwood's moved himself to 9. Dixon, the new batsman, currently on 1.
And just as we talk about in cricket about batting partnerships, this little 3-over spell here from McTaggart and Foster's been a really good bowling partnership. Really pulled the Lake Mac attacker back.
So Jed Dixon back on strike. McTaggart in. Just drops the hands on that one and just steers it towards point. So good running, and I guess that's something else that doesn't get focused on as much in T20 cricket as running between the wickets. Everyone wants to see the 4s and 6s, and rightfully so. It's pretty exciting when you see that, but running between the wickets can get you an extra 12 or 15 runs in an innings, and it can be so invaluable to the side's efforts.
Well, it's better than a dot ball. Every run counts, and if you can't get one, let's get 1 run at least.
McTaggart hits him on the pad. Ball drifting down the leg side, but that was a good over as well. So just 4 from that. And 6 overs completed. So at the end of the power play, 2 for 45. The Lake Mac attack. Westwood is 9 from 14. And Dixon is on a runner ball to McTaggart's got 2 overs next to his name. Figures of 1 for 9.
And if you just look at those power play overs, the 6 overs there, after the first 3 overs, the Lake Mac attack were 1 for 30, and it's pulled back to 2 for 45 after 6. So those last 3 overs in that bowling partnership, there's only been 15 runs scored off it. So they've really worked hard here, the Blasters, in that 3-over spell.
So Cahill is going to come back into the attack. He bowled earlier this morning. Figures of none for 5 off his only over.
Yes, this young fellow is the leading wicket taker in the Newcastle competition. He's got some pace about him too, so it's really good to see young fellas out here strutting their stuff on the big ground of the SCG. Dixon's 2 off 2 and Westwood's 9 off 14 deliveries. So Westwood's probably got to start to hurry his scoring rate along a little bit better.
Cahill comes in and cramps in for room again. Nice full delivery and good piece of running between the wickets. So
cheeky little single there, just drop it and run.
Yeah, he looks pretty sharp between the wickets, Jed Dixon. He picks up one there to move to 3. Just shows how quickly the game can change in T20. A side gets off to a bit of a racing start. A couple of wickets certainly pulls it back. Already the 5th bowler that has been used by the Newcastle Blasters so far this morning. Cahill in, and this ball is knocked down to long on. They think about a second, but herring in from the deep. It was a good bit of fielding by the Blasters there, and keep it to just the 1. They're distilling in singles at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's about what we talked about, mate. I think it's a little bit of rebuilding here and just keep knocking it around, setting a platform, not looking to lose any more wickets for the next 4 to 5 overs at least.
Back and pulls it down the ground. It was a little bit of an unconventional shot, but he's picked up a run for it. Dixon, he goes to 4.
Bit of a baseball type, top of the bat, slap back down the ground. Was on him a bit quicker than what he thought, and a bit tight for him there to look to pull. But he got it back way down the ground.
Cahill in once more. It's pitched up. Beautiful caught and bowled. It was slapped straight back to him. Great reaction there by Cahill. He picks up his first wicket. And the Newcastle Blasters, they've got their noses well and truly back in this one. 3 quick wickets. And the Lake Macatac, they've fallen to 3 for 48.
That's a very sharp catch by Cahill there on the replay, as you can see. It's whacked straight back at him, and he just looked up, take it straight in the bread basket on the chest. Very, very good catch. And like I say, the information out of Newcastle, he's a talented all-rounder, and showed that with his fielding then off his own bowling.
Yeah, it was hit firmly back, and Westwood is the man that has to depart. 10 for him of 16 deliveries. And trouble is now brewing for the Lake Macatac.
Yeah, the Macatac didn't want that. They didn't want to use another wicket. They really looking to establish their platform, and that's probably going to hurt them a little bit. There's just another new batsman comes to the crease. They're just losing wickets constantly now, a couple of overs each time, and they just really need to pull it back now and just set the platform and work the ball around a bit more. Westwood intent there was to try and smack it straight past Dixon. Back past Cahill again on that replay, and just needed a metre either side of him. He would have been okay.
The captain, Adrian Chad, is the man that's come out into the middle. Probably a good time for a captain to come in and try and consolidate and get things to be settled down a little bit. Faces up here to Cahill, who still has 2 balls left in this over. Just drifts into the pads there, and Chad straight away is able just to flick that onto the onside, and goes down as a leg by.
Again, we had the commentator's curse, mate. We just said that for a couple of overs, don't lose any wickets, and then what happens is that, Lake Macatac said, we're not going to do what you blokes are talking about. We'll smack it back to the bowler and get out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we haven't been great this morning, have we, Paul, really?
No. Well, apparently you're getting paid from Blasters to do this, so keep calling that they're not going to lose wickets.
This one pulled in the air, going right out into the deep, was almost a catchable opportunity.
I think Dixon checked his shot then, that time. I think he realised that the guy was out on the mid-wicket fence and sort of went to pull and then went, I'm not going to follow through with that, and it just landed 3/4 of the way.
He does pick up the single. He moves to 5. Chad yet to score a Interesting over that one. A wicket and 5 runs coming from it. A 50 is up for Lake Macatac from the 7 overs. Run rate just above 7.1 runs per over. Looks like Aaron Bills is going to come in. Looks like a rugby league player that's had his jersey half ripped with the number not really showing. Probably not a good sign early in the day. With maybe that was the last Newcastle Blasters shirt left over for Aaron. But they've gone to the slow bowling option.
Right arm leg spin bowler here is Bills, so this will be interesting. He's got the big boundary as protection. He's got 3 men out there at deep forward square, what we would call cow, deep mid wicket and a deep mid on. And a deep cover as well.
Bills comes in, first ball, short of a length, and just pushed down the ground, just beats the man inside the circle. And Mitchell Lowell has to come retrieve from out in the boundary.
And a really good field set up here for the leg spinners. Like I said, deep cover there on the short 60-metre boundary. He's got 2 behind point there as the run singles, and happy to give away a single out through to the deep cover or out to the deep mid-wicket backward square area.
Chad faces and tries to flick that one down, but it is going to be called a wide. And we haven't seen that since the very first ball of the innings, where there was 3 wides to start. That's a good ball from Bills. Plenty of air there, just drawing Chad forward. Not too much you can do with that early on in your innings.
Yeah, I think they're just taking a little look to see if there is any turn in the wicket. Does seem to be just a little bit of turn there.
Looks to paddle this one around the corner. He gets it really fine. Almost hit it through the wicketkeeper Ben Balcom's legs there. He picks up 2, and that's all they'll settle for. That was a smart cricket shot there from Chad.
You're just straying onto the leg stump, and if you can get it down there, a little bit of bat on there, hopefully you get the pace off the ball and can trickle its way down to the fence. They only got 2.
Bills in once more. This one more on the leg stump line as it's pushed down to long on for 1.
I'm sure the Mac attack boys are wanting to go after him, but are just sitting on it going, we really don't need to lose another wicket. Here we go, commentators curse again. We don't want to lose another wicket. We really want to build this inning. So they look very patient at the moment, just work the ball around.
Yeah, it can really hamstring you if you're 5 or 6 down heading into those last 5 or 6 overs where you want to try and be aggressive. Probably got that at the back of their mind at the moment. Driving beautifully out through the offside. He'll probably only get a single for it, but deserved a lot more there, did Jed Dixon. He timed that beautifully, a little bit too well, but he will retain the strike. He picks up a single. He moves along to 7, and his captain, Chad, is with him on 1. So 3 for 56. 1 ball left here in the 8th over.
Interesting now, they've pushed down a deep mid-off as well, so they've got 5 outside the big circle.
And this is short enough that Chad is able just to work that one around the corner for a single. So 7 from that over, a pretty good one in the end there for the Lake Macatac, with not really taking too many risks. 3 for 57 after 8. Dixon is 7 and Chad is on 2. Bills first over going for just the 5.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to understand what Lake Macatac think would be a pass score today. Just looking at how the wicket's playing, the weather conditions, all new for these guys, as in once a year. Some of these guys have obviously played here before in the Plan B Regional Bash, but again, only once a year you come here to play it, and getting the whole surroundings and feelings and where the gaps are, what space is there, because there is a lot of space out there.
So Josh Geary is coming into the attack. They've got plenty of bowlers, don't they? The Newcastle Blasters, on those sides where pretty much everyone is dangerous with the ball. Geary starts up a little bit short, but it's just going to end up being a single as Chad dropped that on the offside. Well, I've noticed I've done the Plan B Regional Bash for quite some time, Paul, and I think anything over 120 is always a pretty challenging score to chase down. Even in years gone past, we've had the men's first grade T20 games here. Anything around that 120, 130 mark is a middle of the road score, but can be tricky to chase over the 20 overs. Well, driven here now by Dixon out to that man sweeper in the deep at deep cover for one.
Yeah, and like you say, that's from a country cricket's point of view, 120, 130 pass score makes it difficult. Like if you lose a couple of wickets, then the pressure comes back on when you're chasing. So it gives you that something to bowl to. Maybe not enough, but something to bowl to.
Chad back on strike, driving, but straight to the man at cover. So a rare dot ball. We haven't seen one of those for a little while. It was well timed there by the skipper Adrian Chad, but wasn't able to pierce the gap.
So yeah, I'm 130 would be a good score. 140, 150 would be a great score on the SCG.
Geary into Chad, who just has to defend this one. It's a good line and length to start here by Josh Geary. It's been pretty much on the money, short of a length outside that off stump. Doesn't want to get too full because that does bring in that lofted drive down the ground. Although they do have protection with a long on, long off, but straight down past the bowler there is a fair bit of green pasture. This ball is hammered through the offside. That's really well timed, but again, good fielding out in the deep. But was well enough hit that this pair is able to come back for a couple.
Yeah, Dixon just gave himself a little bit of room to try and beat that player in the ring there at mid-off and got it out to deep mid-off to pick up two. Really good shot, that.
Dixon tries it again, but just has to dig this one out and work it down the ground for a single. He's starting to look in good touch now, Jed Dixon. He's gone along to 11. Chad's on 4. 3 for 63. So you kind of feel the rebuilding happening a little bit here, can't you, Paul, over these last few overs?
Yeah, I think we've got the two most experienced players in the Lake Mac attack here with the captain and also with Adrian Chad and Jed Dixon here. You can sort of see that the way they're building probably the last 2 overs to work the ball around. They're happy to take the ones and the twos, and I think, very, very, very smart cricket at the moment. I think they're looking to say, well, we'll bat these overs up until, 13, 14, and then we'll have a real go, and we've still got wickets in hand.
So the wickets to have fallen so far today. Marcus Hainsworth was the first man to go. He was caught. Montgomery bowled McTaggart for 14 from just 7. And this ball swept around the corner, almost went straight to the man there at short fine leg.
Always worries me that, Jack. We just said that the setting and he's across the stream trying to paddle outside. Yeah. Oh, no. Got away with it. That's good. As you can see, they're just trying to find the gaps there.
This one was given plenty of air and was plenty wide of the off stump. And Dixon is going to try and come back for a second. Really good running between this pair. It's probably been the feature of this Lake Mac attack innings. Apart from a few little nervy moments, most of it's been pretty good running between the wickets.
Again, the experience of Foster here, he's looking what the batsmen are doing. He went to paddling before, and then that ball there, he put wide of off stump.
Back and cutting away, but straight to point this time from Dixon.
Yeah, Nick Foster, very, very classy bowler here. You can just see he's just varying the pace, varying the length, varying the width. He's working Dixon over here, trying to create a wicket for the Blasters.
Reverse sweep comes out and he gets just enough of it to get it past the wicketkeeper and again get it quite fine down towards that boundary down there just in front of the Victor Trumper stand, and they will collect a couple more. So Dixon has tried a paddle sweep ball 1. He's got the reverse sweep there. Don't know if we'll go down the coaching manual, but he got enough of bat on it to get it away from the field and pick up 2 more.
Well, that's T20 cricket today. You've got to play 360 degrees, and we've got to be doing those sort of shots to stay in the game because you've got to get runs wherever you can.
Foster in, back and playing and missing outside the off stump is Dixon. There's a nice little battle between bat and ball here at the SCG.
Yes, we've gone dot to dot to dot. So if it goes to plan, there should be 2 off this ball.
Foster bowls to Dixon, reverse sweep, and he swept that one away. That'll be
great
4.
shot.
That's a beautiful shot. That was probably what he was looking for 2 balls prior, but that reverse sweep was magnificently played down through fine leg for 4. So Dixon finishes with a flurry, 8 off the over. He goes to 19. Chad 4, 3 for 71 after 10.
Yeah, that was a lovely reverse sweep there from Dixon. Really got onto that one out of the middle of the bat compared to the first one he played where he got a bottom edge down for 2 down to fine leg. But he really got hold of that one and beat the fielder at short backward square there and picked up a boundary for the Blasters. Just what they needed, actually. He's going along quite well. Dixon, 19 from 16 deliveries. And 3 for 71.
Yeah, he's laying a bit of a platform for the rest of the middle order. Here's Jed Dixon. He won't be on strike. It's Adrian Chad, the skipper, now that's on strike. 4 not out for him of 8. Josh Geary is continuing. He shuffles across the crease and defensively pushes that one down the ground for 1.
We're seeing a lot of that in not only country cricket, but obviously in the big bash and what have you, where batsmen are actually moving before the bowler comes in and setting themselves up outside the off stump, looking to power hit and set a good base. Chad looked to do that just then.
Advancing and hammering that one through the offside. They might be able to get 2 here. If they think about it, was a little bit of a slow first run taken there by Dixon, but the ball was far enough away for him to get back for 2 fairly comfortably.
Yeah, Jacob Montgomery got a bit of a hand on that in the dive there, which slowed it down, which was a good effort from him in the field there at backward point.
So Dixon's moved to 21, and all of a sudden he starts to be looking in a bit of a groove now. Geary in, and he's lofted this one down the ground. Got a fair chunk of it. It's a nice stop down on the boundary, which saves 2, but Dixon is able to get 2 more.
Some intent here from the Lake Mag attack. They're looking to take Geary on. They obviously see that he may be the man that we will try and get as many off as we can with their intent at the moment.
That run rate's starting to head north now as well. Already 5 of these first 3 balls, 8 from the last over. Geary in, this one pulled hard down the ground. Again, well timed by Dixon. And great turn there by Chad. He knew he was running to the danger end there. And sprinted like there was no tomorrow to make sure he got home safely. And it's a trio of 2s now to Dixon.
Yeah, really good running again there. Really good running there.
Those Blasters fielders down at long on, long off are getting their money's worth at the moment. They're having to cover a lot of ground. So Geary comes in. Forward and driving exquisitely out through extra cover. Picked up by the sweeper, so just the single. And there'll be 1 ball remaining. So 8 from the over. It's another good one here for the Lake Mac attack. We're starting to, you feel, build towards something. With Dixon now on 26. Adrian Chad to face the last ball of the 11th over. And drives back to Geary. So good finish there from Geary, although it was a good over for the Lake Mac attack. 11 overs gone, 3 for 79, Adrian Chad 5, and Jed Dixon on 26.
Yeah, the Lake Mac attack are just building nicely now, and I think you'll see a really good score from them as they work forward with these 2 experienced players batting at the moment. And I'm going to step out here and leave you with Adrian Branco, the cricket manager of Southern Inland.
Lovely. Thank you for your time, Paul, and your expertise. As we welcome Adrian into the commentary position. 3 for 79 here, the Lake Mac attack, with Bills currently 0 off 5, and he will be looking to continue in a similar vein. Adrian, welcome to the commentary booth. Welcome to the SCG, mate. Have you made of the action so far this morning?
Thanks very much, Jack. Yeah, look, I think Paul was saying Lake Makataka just building nicely here for a bit of a flourish towards the end of the innings. So these 2 have rebuilt the innings really well.
So Aaron Bills to continue. Plenty of flight again given by the young leg spinner, and he'll pick up a dot ball. Dixon thinking about a single there, unable to get through as he pushed it through onto the offside. Just going through that scorecard, so Hainsworth went for 14 from 7. Arms was the next to go, bowled by Foster for 12 as he had advanced down the track. This one paddled around the corner by Dixon for a single. And the last wicket to fall was that of Westwood. Corton bowled Cahill for 10 off 16. It was a really smart Corton bowled chance that was taken there by Cahill. But since then, a bit of partnership starting to develop between this pair. 32 have been added as Chad chops this one through the offside for a single.
It's really good batting here. They're just building this nicely. Probably looking for capitalise at the back end of the over here, as that run rate's it's just slipped back down to 7 now. So
this is when you think the aggressiveness will probably start to come out for the Lake Mac attack, as this one's driven out to deep cover for a single. After this over, Adrian, 8 overs to go. It's probably around that 6-7 over mark that teams start to really think about being a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, I think they're in a good position now. Only 3 wickets down, that they can really accelerate towards the back end here.
This ball swept around the corner, and this will be one more as well.
The leggies are doing a really good job here. That's just 4 singles off the over. He'll be looking to get out of here with another single, if he possibly can, or even a dot ball. As long as he don't go for the boundary here, that it'll be a really excellent over for the Blasters.
So a dot to start, and then 4 singles since. Dixon is on strikers. We can just have a slight little hold up here at the SCG. Bill's in, advancing as Dixon, and drives that one down the ground. I think he was looking for more than that, but he does settle for the single and will retain the strike for the next over. So 12 overs gone, 3 for 84. Chad 7 from 12. Dixon is 29 from 24. Adrian, you're much like Paul. You're a cricket manager. People that are watching might be wondering what that means, and what I guess a day-to-day life is like for Adrian Brunker working as a cricket manager. Can you give us a bit of insight into what your role entails with Cricket New South Wales?
Yeah, absolutely. So currently we are in a real promotion phase to get as many kids playing cricket on the back end of the BBL and all the cricket that's the international summer that's gone before us. And I'd like to say we're having a lot of success with, particularly in the ELP space. With our Cricket Blast programs are going really well. We've got a few new programs that are popping up in Term 1, so there's a lot of kids that are really interested to start playing cricket now, and it's great to see. So there's a lot of work in regards to that. Our team has been fortunate enough to spend quite a bit of time with the Thunder games down in Canberra, and a few of the other ones as well. So it's been a busy time, but it's been a really rewarding time as well. So
yeah, there's been a whole lot of cricket down the ACT. It's been great for fans of cricket in the summer, as this ball is lofted over the infield and down towards the boundary for 4. That was a wonderful shot. Thought the fielder out in the deep might have been able to reel that one in, but I think it was just so well struck and so well timed here by Jed Dixon that just had too much power on it. He goes along to 33.
That's a great shot there. It's going to put a lot of pressure on this over now, going for 4 off the first ball. So it's a great opportunity for them to really capitalise on this and maybe make this a big over and really get them springboard into the final 7 overs.
He's gone again. This one he's got quite well as well, and that's going to be a couple of bounces over the rope for 4 more. So a couple of big shots here from Jed Dixon, and have realised that they need to start going, and they've targeted the bowling and have come up with a couple of big strokes. Didn't seem to get all of that, Adrian, but plenty of power as we see him make a couple of steps out of the crease and slap that over mid-wicket for 4.
Yeah, taking advantage of that short boundary out there now, and bowler's certainly under a bit of pressure for the remaining balls of this over.
Goes again, this one whizzing past the off stumpers. Again, Dixon taking a couple of steps down the track. I think his wicket is going to be key here over these next few overs. If they're able to see the back of Jed Dixon in the next few balls, got a great chance of keeping this in check, the Newcastle Blasters. But if Dixon was to score 50 plus, this score could really balloon out in the last 7 and a bit overs. He's 37 from 27. Already 8 from these first 3 balls. He waits again and slaps this one out through deep mid-wicket for a single.
He's certainly liking that area of the ground out there, and I think he's probably looking to get a couple over the road for maximums. So he's just walking up to his partner now. What do you think the messages are?
Yeah, I think they've targeted this over, Adrian, as one they really want to go. I wouldn't be surprised if the tempo really starts to be turned up here by these two sides, but particularly the batting of the Lake Mac attack. And I think Chad's probably just playing that anchor role at the moment. Just happy just to knock the singles around the park and give the strike to Dixon, who's obviously been in there for a lot longer and is striking the ball quite well.
Yeah, I think that was Singer was very deliberate then to get him back on strike.
Dixon has hammered that. That's gone a long way. 10, 12 rows back. That's the shot of the morning so far, as it was short of a length in the arc, and he swung heartily across the line, and that was a big 6 there to Jed Dixon. A very good over for the Lake Mac attack. 16 coming from it. Brings up the 100 as well, with still 7 overs to go, and that was some shot.
Great shot there. He really targeted that short boundary with a couple of 4s and then a maximum to finish the over. So 3 for 100 with 7 to go. I think they're, they'd be looking at getting 10s from here and possibly pushing up to that 170 mark.
Yeah, they've laid a very good platform, haven't they? I think you see teams in the BBL that are 100 at 13 overs that really push on. So they've put themselves in a very good position here. And Nick Foster, he'll have a few thoughts swirling around in his head at the moment. These next few overs could be match-defining for both these two sides. He's bowled well so far, Foster. He has got his cap off, so we wonder whether he's going to come back into the attack. He's just having a bit of a discussion.
I think there's a little bit of thoughts going on out there. What's the best way of approaching this?
I think they're still trying to find the ball, Adrian. I think it's been lost over there in the Bill O'Reilly stand. One of the Newcastle Blasters players is up on the concourse. He's a long way away from where he wants to be. What's the old rule when you're playing backyard cricket? Watch where the ball last hit. If it hits some leaves, or it's pretty hard when all the seats look the same at the SCG though. So
it's also 6 and out, and the Blasters probably be happy to see the back of Dixon right at the moment after that shot. So
yeah, here are some of the shots from the last over. That was ball 1, where he got enough of it on to keep it away. Then he did a ball 2 as well. Took a couple of big steps down the track and hammered that one. Not quite out of the middle, but a lot of power and strength behind it. And then that was the 6. You could tell as soon as it came off the bat, that was going a long way. And yeah, 10, 12 rows back there in the Bill O'Reilly stand.
Yeah, that was a great shot. That would have been 6 probably on the other side of the ground as well too.
I think, most grounds in the country that would have been sailing over the rope. But we've got the ball back, and Nick Foster, the skipper, has ball in hand. He's bowled very well so far, 1 for 11 from his 2 overs. And he'll be just trying to put the clamps on this Lake Mac attack run fest at the moment. 3 for 100. Chad is facing on 8. And Chad, again, doing what he does best. Works that one around the corner off the face of the bat for the single.
Yeah, it's interesting to see here that Foster back in the attack here. Very experienced cricketer and probably looking to just bowl a tighter over, bowl a little bit more towards the field and probably not go for more than 5 or 6 off this over and really sort of get a little bit of control back in the innings.
So Dixon on strike. Are we going to see some fireworks? He gives himself room, cuts away through the offside. That's down to the boundary for 4 more. That was just as good as a 6 we saw him hit just before. Stepped across and carted that one beautifully through the point region. And it's another boundary to Jed Dixon, who's raced to 48 from 30.
It's a great shot from Dixon here, and you really feel that he holds the keys to this innings and where they get to in the end. If he bats for another 3 or 4 overs, they could post a very, very large total and make it really hard for the Blasters.
If he'd stayed in his normal position, he probably would have been able to play that shot. So it was smart work to give himself some room because the ball was only probably half a stump with outside the off stump. Foster's going to go around the wicket now. He's back and pulling this one, doesn't get it. And it bounces just shy of the man at short fine leg. I think there was frustration for both sides.
Definitely there. He's hit the pad with the bat there. I think he was looking to hit that down that backward square region for 4 or maybe even 6.
2 away from the 50 as well. It'll be a very good 50 if Jed Dixon can get there. Probably thought he was going to get at that ball. You probably don't get a better ball to try and bring up a 50 half tracker outside leg stump.
So we see there's got a field change now. We've got backward square and deep fine leg back there as well.
Yeah, well, he's got some decisions to make, Jed Dixon, if Nick Foster drops short. Five players on the onside. Yeah, the offside fairly vacant, but don't think the ball's going to be there. He's back. He paddles this one around the corner, but he's just going to get the single here. Oh, no, he's going to come back for a second. It's a poor throw as it goes down to the non-strikers end, and that's 50 for Jed Dixon. A very good innings that has laid the platform for a potential big score here for the Lake Mac attack. Comes from just 32 balls. There's been some really wonderful shots here this morning by Jed Dixon.
Again, he was showing some really good innovation there. Got the ball fine enough to get back for the 2 with some excellent run between the wickets. So I think the bowlers are going to have to really think about where what his line's going to be here.
Yeah, he's moving all around the crease at the moment, is Dixon, not making it easy. He steps away then and he chops this one unconvincingly down through fine leg for a single.
We've got Chad back on strike now, just 9 off the 14 balls. He's been a bit of a spectator at the other end. Probably look to just rotate the strike here and feed it back to Dixon. Given this the last ball of the over, maybe he looks for a 2 or a 4 here.
You haven't really seen him play too many expansive shots. He's been happy just to kind of drop and run as Foster comes back over the wicket this time. He's looking to sweep, and he does sweeps very well down towards the fine leg boundary. It's a great stop out there in the deep, and he'll pick up 2. So nice placement and nice timing there from Chad. That moves him into double figures, and a very good over there for the Lake Mac attack. 10 coming from it. Chad moves to 11. Dixon's 51 from just 33, and with 6 overs remaining in the innings, the Mac attack 3 for 110.
I still think they're on target for that 170 mark, consistently going at 10s here. The run rate is just a tick under 8, and Dixon's back on strike here, more importantly for the attack.
And 3 wickets down as well, Adrian. That's the key, isn't it? Because even if you do lose 1, 2, 3 wickets in these next 4 or 5 overs, you've still got batters to come. And when people are swinging for the fences, there's a pretty decent chance the ball's going to fly off some portion of the bat and go down towards the boundary, or you pick up a few runs here and there.
Absolutely, and you can really sense that the momentum's with the batting team at the moment, and the bowlers are under pressure every single delivery. So what Dixon's got here, he's been really quite innovative, moving around the crease a lot, and the bowlers having to be change their lines a lot.
So Aldous is going to come back in the attack. He bowled the first over of the day. 16 went from it. He'll hope that it's a little bit tidier now. Pitches up, and this ball dug out nicely there by Dixon, but very well bowled as well.
It's great Yorker there. Probably don't see enough of those balls bowled in the death overs of T20. Still a very, very effective delivery. All he can get is a single, so we've got Chad back on strike. He's looking to be a little bit more expansive here. Or does he try to get Dixon back on strike?
Plenty of men out. There's a sweeper in that cover region, a deep third man, a short fine leg, deep square leg, deep mid-wicket, as well as a long on for the skipper. Does well whipping this off the toes out to deep square leg for a single.
It's another good delivery. He's bowling to the field here. So we would see Dixon look to target that short boundary again, possibly here. Maybe look to get down the crease, change the length of delivery.
His partnership worth well over 50 at the moment. He shuffles himself around and tries to ramp that one away. Balcom makes a bit of a fumble behind the stumps, but no run is taken.
Again, he's looking to target those behind square there. He's got that short fine leg. So he's noticed that there's definitely a lot of space down behind there. So again, it's good batting. He's definitely very much present out there and thinking about where he can score the runs. So
tidy here from Aldous so far, just the 2 runs. This ball is crunched down the ground. He fields and he's follow through. So he's got his tail up now. The quick bowler here for the Newcastle Blasters.
This is a great over so far. Two runs off 4 balls, and he'll just be looking to get out of this over here. And suddenly you can sort of sense that momentum's just come back towards the bowling team, just fractionally.
Yeah, if he can get away with these last 2 balls without conceding a big shot, it's going to really help the Blasters. This one chipped in the air over the top of short fine leg, down to the boundary for 4. Again, there's that innovation from Jed Dixon, a really clever cricket shot, shuffling across the crease and ramping it over the infield for 4. He goes to 56.
Great shot from Dixon there. We saw the power in the last over, and to this over we've seen innovation. It's been a really well bowled over from our...
It wasn't a bad ball. It was, full of length on the off stump, but as you can see there, it wasn't a poor delivery.
Still only 6 off the over. He can finish off well here.
Dixon faces up as Aldous comes in, and he hammers that one along the ground out to deep mid-wicket for a single. So he's got away with a pretty good over there, Aldous. 7 from it. That 4 certainly helped the Mac attack, though. Dixon will retain the strike with 5 overs remaining. He's 57 from 38. Chad supporting well, 12 off 16. 15 gone, 3 for 117.
That was a really well bowled over by Aldous there. He was, as I said, every ball was basically in the block hole, and he was... unluckily, from his point of view, probably ramped over short fine leg, but he was certainly hitting the spot in that over, and it's just helped them bring that run rate back slightly, with only 7 conceded. So, but again, Dixon's back on strike here.
You feel they need to see the back of Dixon. It's going to be really hard to try and restrict the runs. Even what was a good over there, 7 still came for it for the Lake Mac attack.
Yeah, you can probably sense that if they can take his wicket there, they might be chasing 150 perhaps with a newer batter coming in. But if he stays there for another 2 or 3 overs, that 170 target is definitely still on.
So 5 overs remaining. Let's see what transpires here. Fosto's bowled 3 overs, 1 for 21. Is going to bowl his 4th and final over. Let's be interesting, this battle between young and old, as Foster comes over the wicket, reverse sweeps, and there's a big appeal for LBW. Ricochets off the pad there of Dixon, and he eventually gets down to the non-strikers, and he's a little bit annoyed with himself as he pulled out the reverse sweep. This time it didn't work.
Yeah, clearly hitting that one outside the line of off stump there, so just a leg by.
Thrown up and hammered through that mid-wicket region. Timed it pretty well. There did Adrian Chad, but only gets a single for it.
Yeah, it was excellent sweeping work out there. They was definitely looking to go for the second run there, but kept to 1. So again, it's a good start to the over here.
So just 2 off these first 2 deliveries. Foster into Dixon. And Dixon advances and lofts this one down. There's a catching opportunity, and it's been dropped. Foster looks away in disgust. That was the chance for them. It went down out in the deep. It was Aaron Wivel, the Blasters' opening batsman, who had to make a fair bit of ground to get there, but was probably entitled to catch that one.
Yeah, that's a massive let-off for Dixon and the Lake Mac attack. Let's see if he can make them pay for it.
Faces up to Foster, full toss. This ball is slapped hard out towards mid-wicket, down to the boundary for 4. Mitchell Lowell out there, he punches the ground in frustration, and 2 mistakes in the space of 2 balls has opened the door here for the Lake Mac attack.
Yeah, and he certainly does make them pay straight away, hitting it for 4. Again, that power coming in.
And this is turning out to be a bit of a disastrous over for the Blasters. 8 runs off it, still 2 balls remaining. Dixon on 63. Reverse sweep comes out again, but he plays and misses outside the off stump.
He's certainly looking to target that area there, isn't he? Despite the fact there's 2 men there waiting for it. Probably looking to get it fairly fine down to that boundary.
He probably knows if he can beat those 2 fielders, it's a big if. It's probably going to be 4. It's quite a short boundary down there. Foster to Dixon, who advances and drives out through there to deep cover. and is happy just to settle for the single and retain the strike. So he moves along to 64. Chad is 13, 3 for 126 with 4 overs remaining. In a very healthy position, the Lake Macatac. They were 3 for 48. So since then, this pair's put on a 4th wicket partnership of 78 and really taken any momentum and the game itself away here from the Blasters that, as Adrian's been alluding to, probably going to be chasing 150 plus, maybe closer to that 160, 170 mark if these next few overs go the way the Lake Macatac want them to.
Yeah, you can sense that that Dixon will certainly look to capitalise on that let off in the last over. And just looking at the field here, a lot of consultation between captain and bowler about what to do, and I think Dixon will certainly be looking to target that short side again here.
So it's going to be Cahill to bowl. He's been bowling well so far today. 1 for 9 off his 2 overs. Took that really smart caught and bowled opportunity. 10-0 from here will get them to 166, which is a very difficult total to chase down. Cahill in, and this ball is hammered high in the air. There's an opportunity running in, and it's been dropped as well. So twice now that Dixon has been put down. That one a little bit tougher. There's a lot of ground to cover for the skipper, Nick Foster. He head in from the edge of the circle, but couldn't quite get there.
Again, Dixon living dangerously, but you can see the intent there to target that short boundary over that side.
Cahill in. This one thundered down the ground there to long off for the single. Well, this is where you have an excuse as a batsman, isn't it, Adrian? You're allowed to throw the kitchen sink at everything in these last few overs.
Absolutely. There's nothing to lose here. There's plenty of wickets in the shed still, and they'll certainly be looking to come out firing.
65 for Dixon. And a really good innings despite having given a couple of chances. Wide of the off stump and cut away beautifully down towards the boundary in front of the members stand for 4. That was a brilliant cricket shot. We've seen some great innovation and some unorthodox stroke play, but that was a real proper cricket shot. Carted away through backward point for 4.
Yeah, excellent shot there. You knew there was a big gap out there in the outfield, and with a bit of width outside the off stump, he just glided through there off the meat of the bat. So, again, bowler back under pressure, 6 off the first 3 balls.
69 to Dixon from 45. He's scored more than half their runs now. It's been a vital innings from the middle order batsman. He faces up to Cahill, and he hammers this one really high. Don't think it's going to evade everyone, unless Foster can get to it. He does. He drops it backwards, and he picks up 2 more. So he's been dropped, 3 times in probably the space of 8 or 9 balls. Those last 2 have been tough opportunities. Foster did really well just to even get to that delivery.
Well, you know what they say, fortune favours the brave, so
8 from these first 4 deliveries. Boy, if Dixon comes up with a couple of big hits here, he might be thinking about the 3 figures. He's moved to 71 in real quick time. Backs away and thrashes at that one as it flies there to the man on the edge of the circle at Gully. So this entertaining and absorbing innings by Jed Dixon comes to an end. A very good knock though, 71 from just 47 balls, and has put his side, the Lake Macatac, in a very strong position to post potentially a match-winning total here at the Sydney Cricket Ground in this Sixers Conference Final of the Plan B Regional Bash. He departs for 71. 1 ball left in the 17th over. It's 4 for 134.
Well, I think the Blasters certainly needed that. He'd had 3 lives in the last couple of overs, so it'll be interesting to see if they can put the brakes somewhat on the innings now with the new batsman coming to the crease. Chad may have to take a bit more of a lead hand here in attacking the bowling, but the run rate's still going at 8s now. So with 6 wickets in hand, there's still every opportunity to hit the 170 mark here, and perhaps even higher.
So wonderful innings comes to an end, and again it's Aiden Cahill that is the man that's able to get the breakthrough. 2 for 17 for him off 2.5. He's been the pick of the bowlers. Bill's 2 overs, none for 10. Still has a couple up his sleeve. I wonder whether they throw the ball to the leg spinner in the last couple of overs.
That would be a brave call.
So Brendan Charlton comes out to bat here at number 6. He doesn't necessarily have to go from ball 1. He can probably give himself a few balls. We'll see what his strategy is here against Cahill with just the 1 ball left in the over. He's back and just dropping that onto the offside and gets through for a single. So Charlton off the mark straight away. He's on 1, Chad 14, but a wicket over there for Cahill, but 9 still coming from it. 4 for 135 with 3 overs to play.
You can probably understand why they may have sent Charlton out here. All-rounder from Toronto, described as the X factor for the late Mac attack, and is always calm under pressure. So with 3 overs remaining, probably calls for a calm head. Still the ability to clear the ropes. So still looking promising here for a 170. 10 and over here, 165, but I think they probably have it in their mind that they want to get a few more than that. So especially with 6 wickets in hand. So
yeah, it'd be interesting to see what we'll get out of Adrian Chad in these last few overs. He's been out there for 18 balls for his 14. He's played the anchor as other batsmen around have attacked the ball. Joe Dixon mainly with his 71 from 47 deliveries.
Yeah, we really did play the anchor role, didn't he? So he'll probably look to be a little bit more expansive here.
Charlton will be on strike. Angus McTaggart brought back into the attack.
So we see again a packed leg side field here. 3 men out in the deep. So we've got a wide, long leg down there. We've got a deep mid wicket, and we've got a deep long on here.
McTaggart coming over the wicket short and pulled around the corner. Charlton did well just to get enough bat on that one. They think about a second, but probably wise just to take the single and get the more experienced. And the man that's got his eye in, the skipper Chad on 14. That run rate's currently at 7.9 runs per over. In comes McTaggart back and pulled through that vacant square leg region. They'll be able to come back for 2. It's a good bit of running. Well played there by Chad, and already I guess we're seeing that intent a little bit more than perhaps a couple of overs ago, Adrian.
Yeah, definitely, and that was a really good placement there. He got that ball in between the 2 fielders, so it was an easy 2 to maintain the strike. Again, still looking to target that leg side. It's a little bit more difficult on this side with that much longer boundary.
McTaggart in, short. Doesn't get all of it, and it bounces just shy of the fielder out there at mid-wicket. Then there's a shot to stumps, which almost hits. There's a fair bit happening in that little passage of play, but when it's all said and done, it is Chad that's able to get to the non-striker's end unscathed.
And just another one of the total. But again, they're really looking to target on the leg side here.
Taggart short at the body, and he gets a dot ball. That is valuable at this stage of the innings. Really smart bowling there.
Yeah, that was really well bowled. Really cramped him for room there, and he didn't really have anywhere to go. New batter at the crease, so. So 4 off the over so far. Excellent over for the Blasters. And since the wicket fell, they've really just sort of got a little bit of that momentum back in their favour.
He comes short, pulled down there to mid-on. There's going to be a shot at the stumps here. Again, they miss. That was a little bit closer than the one just before. That was Jacob Montgomery herring in there to try and get a run out. But, yeah, again, just a single.
Again, just 5 runs off the over so far with the ball remaining. So it's been an excellent over to follow up the previous over where they took the wicket of Dixon. So
McTaggart charges in. This one has been pulled. It's gone through the keeper. It's beaten everyone. It's gone down to the boundary for 4. Now that is a real bonus for the Lake Mac attack. It hadn't been a great over for them, but Chad somehow got a little tickle on that, and it's beaten the wicketkeeper Ben Balcom and gone down for 4. So Chad goes to 21 and gets them across to 4 for 144 of 18 overs.
Yeah, that was a little bit unlucky, that last ball there. was a really well bowled over, and I think they the Lake Macatac may have gotten away with one there.
Yeah, Ben Malcolm probably felt he should have done a little bit better there, even just to get the body behind the ball, but happens so quick in T20 cricket. Blink and you might miss it, and that certainly were valuable runs. Cahill's going to bowl his final over of the innings. He's got 2 for 18.
He's bowled really well, so it's no surprise he's going to bowl one of these final 2 death overs here. Probably looking to hit that Yorker again.
Yeah, he's bowled some really good lengths, hasn't he?
Absolutely, and they'll be looking to probably be a little bit more towards the offside and keeping away from the leg side boundary out here. So we see we've got 3 out now. So we've got deep square, deep mid wicket or the cow corner, and we've got the deep long on in a sort of a wideish position. We've got the deep cover and deep long off.
So Charlton comes charging in. This ball chopped down to third man, and they'll get through for a single. Or they're going to try and get an overthrow here, and they will get it. That was a little bit sloppy there from Newcastle. And then there's a direct hit, which almost leads to more runs. So 1 turned into 2 there, and Charlton goes along to 5.
Yeah, you're right. Definitely a little bit sloppy. Probably the man out on the deep mid-wicket boundary probably should have been in there a little bit, stopping that potential overthrow there. It was a well-bowled delivery, straight to the fielder.
Poor old Aidan Cahill probably didn't deserve to have any runs hit off that, and they've taken 2 from it. 4 for 146. As Charlton faces up to him now, and he flicks this one away. It beats the man at short fine leg. It won't go to the rope, but they'll pick up 2 as Geary gives chase. And so Charlton has doubled up in back-to-back balls. It's been a good start to the over.
Yeah, just a couple of leg byes there, but I think the batter may have been a little bit disappointed. He did do a little bit better with that one. Again, straying onto that leg side line.
Cahill in wide of the off stump, and a big booming drive, but it's going to be called a wide. It was a fairly wide delivery there. And Cahill maybe for a moment thought he got away with one, but that just helps Lake Macatac's charge continue. 4 for 149.
Yeah, it's fairly close there on the wide line. A little bit unlucky for the bowler there, maybe.
Cahill in. This is short. It's ballooned up in the air. They're going to scamper through for a single. The ball barely off the wicket square. But it was good running, as I think it might have even come off the glove there of Brendan Charlton.
It was a good ball there by Cahill. It's definitely a little bit quicker. Hurried the batsman along there and just conceding the single. So it's really well bowled.
Yeah, I've actually been off the helmet.
Yeah.
There of Charlton. The helmet strap seemed to be a little bit loosened after that. But 3 balls gone and already 6 from it. Cahill into Chad, and Chad thumps at this one, goes down to the man at cover, and they get through for a single.
You can see the value of that full ball hitting the Yorker spot there, and all he can do is hit it out to cover, and they scamper through. So
Cahill in, Charlton forward again, driving, and again straight to that man there. There's shot the stumps. It's a direct hit, and not out is the call. They pick up another single.
This is an excellent over here. Run rate says just at 8.1, and they're going to need a really, really big finish to hit that 170 mark now. So the Blasters, to their credit, following the dismissal of for Dixon, have really reined them back in here. Yeah, they've bowled a really good line and length, nice and full, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to bowl to your field. No good having players in that cover point region and the mid-off and mid-on region if you're going to bowl short and wide. They've bowled well to a plan in these last few overs. Last ball here of the 19th over. Cahill in. This is wide down the leg side. That'll be a wide. I'll wait for the call from the umpire. So that's going to go down as 2 wides. That's what they didn't need. So a good over all of a sudden, looking like not such a good over. The keeper's done really well there to only can limit it to 2 there.
So now 10 off this over and still a ball to be bowled. Cahill needs to make sure he gets this nice and full. And And this one just dropped away down in that gully region. So ends up being quite a good one for Lake Macatac. 11 coming from it with 3 of them in wides. 4 for 155 with 1 over to go with Chad on 22 and Charlton on 8. And Cahill finishes his 4 overs. Very, very tidy figures for him, 2 for 27.
Yeah, it's a great spell by Cahill. Really bowled her, with the exception of a couple of wides in that last over. He bowled really well. He hit a really good length and made it really difficult for the Lake Mac attack batters to target that short side. So we've got Mac Taggart's going to bowl the final over here with 3 sweepers out on the leg side. So we've got deep fine leg, we've got a deep mid wicket, deep long on, and out on the off side we've got a deep cover point. So they're just deciding whether they're going to need another one here out on the boundary.
It's bowled very well. Angus McTaggart, 1 for 18 from 3 overs. He's been pretty much on the money, short of a length on the stumps. Comes in here. This is a similar pitch delivery and just a drop down onto the offside out to point for 1 run.
Yeah, the batsman trying to give himself some room there, and McTaggart followed him in a really good line. So just squeezing the one out there. It's a good start to the over here. And now we've got the long off going back as well, and we've got the fine leg coming back up inside the circle.
McTaggart's been accurate all competition. He picks up a dot ball there. He's took 3 for 21 off his 5 collective overs in the first 2 games, and now he's got 1 for 19 off almost 4 overs here. So he's been a very good performer for the Newcastle Blasters. Still a young man, as you can see. Certainly pales in comparison to Nick Foster next to him. But doing a really good job for his captain and keeping the Blasters' noses in this game at the moment at 4 for 156. In he comes, short and wide, and that one's cut away nicely down to the boundary for 4. Good effort on the rope, but couldn't quite reel it in, could Johnny Durheim. And Chad picks up a valuable boundary late in the innings. 26 to him, 5 of these first 3 deliveries, and 160 on the board, 4 for 160.
Yeah, that was a great shot from Chad there. You saw him moving around on the crease, and McTaggart tried to sort of aim for that wide line. He met him over there on the just outside there and punished it through the back of point there. So great shot.
3 balls left in the innings. 160 on the board. McTaggart in. This one beats him as he advances down the track, and that is a very well bowled delivery.
He's doing really well here, McTaggart. Pardon me. There's two dot balls in the final 20th over. Is a great effort so far. So if he can just finish this over off, get away with maybe a couple of more runs, 160, they'll probably feel they've done quite well, the Blasters.
Taggart in, short, pulled hard through square leg, but will only get the single. Again, that was well bowled. This has been a really mature final over here from Angus McTaggart. 1.4.1, so only 6 off the over. As long as this last ball doesn't go for a big shot for a 4 or a 6, he's done extremely well. It looked like 170, 180 might have been on the cards when Jed Dixon was thrashing the ball around the SCG a few overs prior.
No, it's been a great comeback by the Newcastle bowlers. They've done really well in these last 4 to 5 overs.
So last ball of the innings, 4 for 161. Brendan Charlton on strike. It's a short ball. He skied that one. He's got it just over the infield, and they'll be able to double up and come back for 2. And so they finish with a couple, which means at the end of their 20 overs, a very good score by the Lake Macatac, something they'll be very happy with. 4 for 163. Brendan Charlton finishes with 11 not out, and Adrian Chad, the captain, finishes on 27. Before we get the thoughts of Adrian, before we wrap things up here, we'll just go through the scorecard. 4 for 163. The wickets to fall. Daniel Arms bowled Foster for 12 off 13. Marcus Hainsworth caught Montgomery, bowled McTaggart for 14 from 7. Josh Westwood caught and bowled Cahill for 10 off 16, and then Jed Dixon, he played the fine innings that has got them to this total. He was caught lol, bowled Cahill for 71 off 47 with 7 fours and a 6. Chad 27 not out, and Charlton 11 not out, finishing at 4 for 163. Adrian Brunker, a very healthy first innings total here by the Lake Mac attack. They'll be feeling pretty confident as they walk off and get ready to bowl in about 10 minutes' time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think at 3 for 48, they were looking at a little bit of trouble, but there was an excellent partnership between Chad and Dixon, which really sort of brought them into a real command of the innings there. And with the dismissal of Dixon, Lake Mac probably maybe could have got another 10 or 15 more if he stayed at the crease, but Newcastle pulled it back nicely. So I think all in all, it's 163. It's probably a good total, but it's definitely a gettable total. So a lot will depend on the first 6 overs of Newcastle's batting innings, but I definitely think that they will be well satisfied that they restricted them to that score in the end.
So 4 for 163. We're going to take a short little break here on the live stream, and in about 10 minutes' time, the Newcastle Blasters will be starting their innings, and you can join Paul Broccoli and Tim Cox for all the action.
What's your plan for match day?
What's your plan B? If you're drinking, don't drive.
Up for a full one, like just following the big dog. I didn't even have 5 minutes.
Welcome back to the SCG. About to start the run chase here in this first Sixers Conference final of the Plan B Regional Bash. It is the Lake Macatac against the Newcastle Blasters, and the two batsmen, Cahill and Hudson for the Newcastle Blasters, are out in the middle, soon followed by the Lake Macatac, who are making their way out to the middle of the SCG. It's going to be a stern run chase. 163 was what was made by the Lake Macatac batting first, 4 for 163. So 164 is the required total to win at 8.2 runs per over. Runs on the board, it's always an advantage when you're batting first, particularly in a 2020 game, Paul. 164, this is going to be a special run chase if Newcastle Blasters can chase this one down.
Well, we did say at the start of the commentary that between 130 and 150 we were looking around a par score. I think Lake Macatac handled their innings really, really well. Might have come up a bit short at the end there, but they did target that short side boundary at the SCG, the Bill O'Reilly side. And a formidable total here, and it'll be set for a really good game. And it'll probably go down to the wire, these two Novocastrian teams.
It's the local derby. A lot of these guys would know each other, played and trained in the same teams or similar teams. But the advantage, you'd have to say, is with Lake Macatac at the moment. 163 registered. Jed Dixon was the star. 71 from 47 with 7 fours and a 6, which laid the platform for that total. And now we're going to have to see what the Newcastle Blasters have up their sleeve. Nathan Hudson is opening the innings with Aidan Cahill. And it is going to be Bailey with the ball for the Lake Macatac. Here comes Dan Bailey from the Belmont Cricket Club. And much like the Lake Macatac innings, we start with a wide first up.
Just getting his bearings at the SCG, not used to playing here, Jack. Right. So just getting his footings right, making sure, okay, I know where I need to be on the big stage.
Yeah, a fair bit of swing and movement there down the leg side. To start here for Bailey. So Cahill is the man on strike. Here's take two. This ball is on the leg stump and clipped away quite fine. He wanted a second there, Cahill. He won't get it. He bowled well with the ball in hand, did Aidan Cahill. 2 for 27 from his 4 overs. But he's got Nathan Hudson in support of him at the moment. .43 runs in this campaign for Nathan Hudson in the Plan B Regional Bash. He just drops this one on the offside and takes the outer side of the edge and dribbles outside the circle for a single.
Yeah, Nathan Hudson, Waratah Mayfield left-hand bat, just made his New South Wales country debut this year. Very explosive player, the word is around the traps with his batting, so obviously looking to get himself set here early and then launch at this big total.
or driven in the air a little bit uppishly. Didn't quite get that one out of the middle. And then the ball was pinged back at the stumps by the Lake Mac attack as they're looking to try and gain an early breakthrough here. It's been a tidy first over. Just the 3 offered of the first 3 balls. That ball is absolutely hammered. That has gone all the way for 6. He's picked that up really quickly, and it's kind of come out of nothing there from Aidan Cahill. Just swinging across the line, and the ball ballooning over mid-wicket for 6.
We did say earlier on that Cahill's a dynamic all-rounder. With his bowling, he was good, and he's showing it. We're hoping the batting here with that big hit over mid-wicket there for 6.
Not a whole lot of foot movement. Barely had to move. He just was in that swinging arc and swung away over that mid-wicket boundary for 6. None for 9 now. The shy at the non-strikers end, but they scurry themselves through for a single. Good start here by the Blasters. None for 10.
Yeah, exactly here. Like I said with Cahill, the word out of the Newcastle area is he's a very explosive player with the bat and loves to hit the ball a long way. So could be in for a nice, exciting 6-over power play if he stays there.
Only 17 years of age as well. He's proved his worth with the ball, and it was a really lovely shot for 6. Last ball of the first over, and Hudson tries to drive that, but isn't able to get too much of it. But ends a very good first over there for the Blasters. None for 10. Cahill is 8 and Hudson is 1. The required run rate for them from here on in is 8.1. And here's the replay of that 6.
That's a lovely shot. Got onto that. It looked like a bit of a slower ball there from... and he's pumped it over the mid-wicket fence.
Great camera work there by Jake, our cameraman. That was excellent tracking to track a ball. Anyone that's tried to be a cameraman or tried to use their iPhone to track cricket is not one of the easiest things to do. That was, fantastically done. Big thanks to the guys at Bar TV that are showing you all your pictures here this morning and this afternoon and this evening. They have to put up with us commentators all day, so it's not an enviable job at all. The ball is... this could be a run out. There's a great opportunity and gone. So the Blasters lose a wicket that they didn't need to. Cahill goes for 8. The big hitting Aidan Cahill. He dropped it just to the right of the fielder at point and decided to take off and then was sent back halfway down. Let's have a look at the replay here, Paul.
Yes, he just drops it in there and just takes off, doesn't look. Then his partner, Hudson, just says, no, I don't think I'm going to make this. And Cahill had to turn and was well short of his ground.
It's a good throw, isn't it?
Great throw. Good direct hit there from backward point there. Always on the move here, attacking the ball, the fielder, and caught them short. Don't think there was a single there. Really don't think there was a single there. But great fielding from Lake Mac attack team there and gets them off to a great start.
Probably didn't need to even try and pick up a single there either. 10 off the first over. It's not as if they were struggling. It's disappointing. I'm sure it wasn't just us that were looking forward to seeing the hitting capabilities of Aidan Cahill, but he is gone. He finds his way walking back to the pavilion. And it means that Aaron Wivell from the Western Suburbs Club in Newcastle is coming out to bat with the score at 1 for 10.
Yeah, Aaron Wivell is a former New South Wales country opener as well, so he's an experienced cricketer. He'll take this on board and re-establish their innings here, the Blasters.
It's been the great thing when we're doing research for these players. So many have represented New South Wales in the Australian Country Championships, which is normally played in January of each year, which is obviously great exposure for them. But some really great quick cricketers that are on show here for both not just these two sides, but the ACT Aces. There's a few players that represented ACT and played a bit of second 11 cricket. The Urana Outlaws, I think they've got about 6 players from the one club.
Yes,
down there in Dubbo. So
yeah, no, it's a great experience for all of those guys to play that, and then what Cricket Australia offer with the Australian Country Championships allows these guys to play high-level cricket from being based at home in regional area. And you can see that with some of the cricket that's being played this morning already, and we'll see more of it as the day goes on.
Because it's very hard. It's very difficult for players that do live in regional areas. if you want to have a real go at trying to be a first-class cricketer or even trying to break into the Sydney grade cricket scene, you've kind of got to uproot your life and move to one of the major cities. And if you've got family and kids and other things, it becomes so much more difficult. So great that there is these pathways for these young guys and even some of the older guys, people like Nick Foster, that are able to captain the New South Wales side and are very successful, the Bush Blues, over the last few years.
That's exactly right, and it also allows them to stay in the game, and it gives them an opportunity that they'll get to play games like here at the SCG, or get to travel interstate to play the national championships, which keeps those guys in the games, which keeps them in club cricket, and keeps our game and helping the young guys learn off those older experienced guys. As we sit here, and they're 1 for 11, the Blasters. But yeah, it's a great experience. It's good to have these guys. And again, some of them are from farms, mate. They're working their farm and getting the chance to play cricket and then come to the big stage. And there's a cut for 4 behind point there by Hudson. There's a great shot there. A little bit wide there from Charlton in his first delivery. Or, sorry, not his first delivery, in the last delivery.
Great to yeah, I think it's great to have these pathways. It's not just the only pathway is playing for New South Wales or trying to break into a BBL club, but giving options for these young cricketers. And I guess what a lot of city people don't understand is there is some really great and fantastic cricketers in regional areas. You just need to look at the current New South Wales side. Players like Nick Larkin and Daniel Hughes, the current Blues openers, are guys that have come from the country, have made that decision to come out. But it's good to see these guys get to play on the bigger stage. It must be a real buzz for them to be able to play on the SCG, particularly if you've played a lot of your cricket in a regional area where you wouldn't have even dreamed to be playing on one of the most famous cricket grounds in the world.
I think it's anyone's dream that loves cricket. I think there's a lot of people out there that love just to walk on the SCG, but to actually play a game on the SCG, the history, the tradition that's here is just an awesome feeling for them, and an awesome opportunity. And again, and to show their wares on this stage, and say that you've hit one into the first row or the first tier of the Bill O'Reilly stand, or put it into the members stand. It's always something you like to have a beer over, and the story gets exaggerated a little bit longer as the older you get. So, look, again, they're quality cricketers. As you can see, they've played a lot of representative cricket, played a lot of cricket around country cricket, as well as in, like, those national championships, and really good cricketers,
1 for 16 here in the third over. Hudson 5 off 4. Wivell is yet to score. So to losing that early wicket, looking to rebuild here are the Newcastle Blasters. They'll be looking to do some blasting of themselves to try and pull this run rate down. It's a full delivery there to Hudson, who defends back down the wicket. And Paul, your role as cricket manager down in the Illawarra, everything's kind of changed with COVID and working from home and all sorts of different things. What's the last, I guess, 12 to 18 months been like down in the Illawarra in terms of cricket participation and your role within Cricket New South Wales?
Yeah, look, it's been really good, very positive. Our entry-level programs, our Blasters, is going great. Guns across the region of the Illawarra is at the highest number it's been for a long time of young participants starting into the game. So starting their introduction to cricket and seeing what a wonderful game we all love. So that's been really good. Tough times for our volunteers and people within club land with COVID and all the extra restrictions and everything, just like life in general's now the new normal, or it's different to how we used to be. So a lot of challenges there for our volunteers out, especially out in the country regions, to be COVID safe and allowing cricket to go along. But again, in Australia, I think we've been very lucky with winter sport and the full summer of cricket. It's sort of allowed us to go, while it is tough times, and it has been tough, we've had live cricket, especially cricket, from our point of view, over the summer's been excellent. So, yeah, look, we've got to give a wrap to all our volunteers and all our club people out there that just want cricket to be played, and then the kids are out there playing. So it's very, very positive at the moment, and staying positive as best we can in these situations.
Illawarra has been such a rich nursery. Often it gets talked about as a rugby league nursery because there's been so many great first grade rugby league players that have come from the Illawarra, but equally some great cricketers from there. Nick Maddinson down from Nowra. He's unfortunately left New South Wales to go to Victoria, and has been putting some great performances in for them. But obviously the Lee brothers from Wollongong as well, probably the two famous names.
Yeah, we've got quite a few. You know, we've Phil Jakes, the current New South Wales coach and successful New South Wales coach, is from my club at West Illawarra there, which is great. His junior cricket there, and then moved his way up to Sutherland. We've also got Adam Zampa, who's come back to the New South Wales Blues, Rilla boy. If we can get him out of the Australian side and back for the Blues, that'd be great. But whenever he's playing for Australia, we're all happy.
1 for 20 here in the third over. We was on 1, Hudson on 7. Jack Clifton and here with you at the moment, bring you through all the action of this Plan B regional bash. Paul Brockley alongside me, chatting all things cricket. And this is just dropped onto the offside by Wivell. So it's been a bit of a tough start here for Newcastle. They started well in that first over, but since then the last 2 overs have yielded just 11 runs. That run rate 7 and over, required run rate, which is the one to keep an eye on, up to 8.4.
Yeah, we seem to play the second fiddle to the Newcastle region when it comes to country cricket, the Illawarra. But we have some talented cricketers that have gone through our system. You know, Steve Nicataris is another one, big left arm quick from Paul Kembla Club, who went on to play for New South Wales and WA. As you said, Nick Maddinson down there at the Stars now, former New South Wales player.
You're doing something right. There's something in the water, Paul, for those Illawarra boys. Feel free to send a few of them across to the St George Illawarra Dragons if you like, though. We would love to get some of us. There's a nice little flick off the pads here down to the fine leg boundary for 4. So we're looking to break the shackles, gets the boundary, 1 for 25.
And they're just doing this steady, the Blasters. They're just recalibrating their innings here after that early wicket, and they're just setting themselves up now to I would look to say, have a launch and plan the end of coming home strong. But setting up beautifully. They're going at with their run rate of 8.3 and over, or that's what's required. So they're doing okay at the moment.
Yeah, just a tick above 7 at the moment for the Blasters, which is fine. They pick up a quick single here as Wivell moves to 7. I think as long as you're not chasing any more than 10 and over in those last 6 overs, you're probably in the conversation. If you can keep it around that 8.5, 9 and over, you got a few wickets in the sheds as well. They're probably in with a decent chance.
Yeah, and as we said, with the big SCG here, there's plenty of space. And like you say, as soon as you get into double figures and they creep to 10s, 11s, it becomes a bit of a hard task to keep up with that.
This ball pitched up and hammered through the offside. Brilliantly caught at cover. That was a really nice take by the captain, Adrian Chad. And Brendan Charlton gets an important breakthrough. He scored a few valuable runs at the back end of the innings, did the man from the Toronto Workers Cricket Club. And he's backed up by his Toronto Workers captain and the captain of the Lake Macatac, Adrian Chad, diving to his right, taking a really smart catch. And just when it looked like the Blasters were rebuilding Paul Brockley, they lose another one. They're 2 for 26.
Yeah, they didn't need that, the Blasters, and we'll see that was an excellent catch by the skipper from Lake Macatac. Just wider delivery, leading across the left-hander, and then smoking it through straight to him and taking a nice diving catch there. The Lake Macatac would be thinking they're on top at the moment. As we said earlier, runs on the board are everything, and start to build some scoreboard pressure, which they're looking to do.
We're already into the 4th over. They probably haven't taken the advantage of the power play as much as they would have liked. And they've lost Cahill, run out by arms for 8, and Hudson just gone, caught Chad, bowled Charlton for 7. Jacob Montgomery's in. Still plenty of batting to come, but just isn't happening at the moment for the Blasters. And that's that scoreboard pressure again, isn't it, Paul? It doesn't matter whether you're playing local cricket, whether you're playing first-class cricket or you're playing here in the Plan B Regional Bash. Just knowing that run rate's climbing and the runs aren't coming can put a lot of pressure on you as a batsman. Yes,
the mental game of cricket. It gets into your head. You know, it's again a bit like T20. People want to smash and what have you, but you still play good cricket shots. But yes, scoreboard pressure is everything, and it starts to eat away at you there if you can get some dot balls there, and the pressure really mounts on the batting side.
Charlton in, pitches up, and seemed to tail in a little bit. He's getting a little bit of swing here, Brendan Charlton, with that round arm action. But Montgomery does do enough to get off the mark straight away.
Jacob Montgomery here from the Wallsend Club. Again, saw him bowl and was a talented all-round. Now let's see how he bats.
He picks up a single there, does Wibble. They've had some close matches, the Blasters, in their 2 preliminary games. There was a blowout win in round 1 against the Macquarie Coast, where they were able to reduce the Coast to be all out for 94, and they chased that down relatively comfortably. And then against Coffs Coast, they hung on for a 1-wicket win, 9 for 107 versus 9 for 101. So this is by far the toughest chase of their campaign so far. But they certainly have the quality in this top order to get the job done. Not a bad over there. The wicket certainly hurt them, but there was 8 runs from it. 96 balls remaining in the innings, 135 to win at 8.4 and over. Wivell 7, Montgomery 2. 2 for 29 with Dan Bailey, 2 overs, none for 15, and Brendan Charlton, 2 overs, 1 for 11. So a bit of a different strategy here from the Lake Mac attack. They're happy to let their bowlers find their groove, give them a couple of overs each. When we saw Nick Foster, the captain for the Blasters, he was changing it pretty much every over. So interesting to see the different methods of the 2 captains.
Yeah, it is, but obviously they've set a plan for this. Interesting, like we said earlier in the day, the coach of both the Mac Attack and the Newcastle Blasters, who's split at the moment, Shane Burley, who's sitting on the Blasters bench, probably knows the insides and outs of both of these sides, and obviously set a plan for how the Blasters will go about chasing this 160.
So Rory Madison into the attack, and he starts with the dot ball outside the off stump.
Interesting to see that, well, from the point of view, at the same point, the Lake Mac Attack were 1 for 38 after the 4th. Their intent was to go hard, where the Blasters are 2 for 20, or are 2 for 29, and are just trying to settle and build an innings now.
Montgomery faces up, and this ball is lumped over the infield as it just gets stuck in the outfield as they pick up 2. So Montgomery knows that with the field still up for the next 10 deliveries, that there probably is minimal risk, particularly if he's given a little bit of width by the Lake Mac Attack, just to free the arms. You get it over the infield, you're going to get at least a couple.
Yeah, interesting to hear young Rory Madison here from the Charlestown Club actually plays Point of Grey in Sydney for the Gordon Club as well. So he's been doing a bit of cricket this year for sure. As the runs tickled down the leg side there, the short fine leg there, and Montgomery gets a single.
Point of Grey Shield, the under-19s grade competition for people that are unaware of that. But yeah, obviously very highly touted to be breaking into that squad. Gordon has a very strong club cricket focus there across in the Chatswood region. They did very well in the first grade Kingsgrove Sports T20 Cup, made it to the semi-final stage of that competition, and got young players like Madison running around. Then they're certainly thinking about the future.
And that's where the young fellas like to go. You know, Newcastle, Illawarra, from the country, they normally come in at that young age after pathways and start off in that Point of Grey level in Premier Cricket in Sydney, looking to make their way up through the channels into first-class cricket.
Gordon's probably one of the more northern-most Sydney suburbs, Sydney grade suburbs that you could go and play for. A little bit more travel if he was going down and playing at Sutherland.
Yeah. Is that a hint from you, Jay? The more people in the Shire, the better, or not?
Yeah, that's right.
They do tell us you're a different breed there, and you've got to get a passport to get into the Sutherland.
That's all right. I'll turn a blind eye to that, Paul. Sutherland, they've produced and had a fair few decent cricketers of their own lately. Dan Fallons, who was part of the New South Wales squad down there doing some good things. Steve Smith obviously played a couple of years ago in his year off from international cricket. Phil Jakes was there as well. Nick Madison. We might not have produced them, but we continued their development, I'd like to say, after they came to the grade scene. 2 for 34 after 5 overs. Montgomery 6, Wivell on 7.
Yeah, I do have to put my hand up. Like, I have got a connection there in regards to the Sutherland Cricket Club. That's for sure. Through both my boys that played there at some stage, and also my wife who currently scores at that club. So I have allegiances are a little bit towards the Sutherland Cricket Club for sure.
So,
and it's close to Wollongong.
That's right. It is. It's the southernmost suburb towards Wollongong. Hence why I think a lot of the Illawarra boys head up to the Sutherland Shire. Probably a little bit similar to Wollongong with the beaches and different things. There is a bowling change that's happening here for the Mac Attack. Adrian Chad is going to roll his arm over. He played an important innings with the bat, 27 not out, kind of anchored the innings for quite some time, and then was able to play a couple of big shots towards the end. He's coming right arm over the wicket, bowling his right arm mediums. And he starts with a dot ball, so they just look in control, though, the Mac Attack, don't they? They just look a lot more comfortable. Their bowling changes have worked so far. The fielding is really kind of on song at the moment. It's going to take something special, I think, here from the Blasters.
You're exactly right here. I think Chad's he's a wily, fast, off-spinning, medium pacer, mixes up.
He's got one here, he has. Ball
go.
swung back and has caught the edge there of Montgomery. It's been marvellously caught behind the stumps. And the first wicket to the captain, Chad. And they now fall to 3 for 34. The Newcastle Blasters in trouble, certainly brewing on the green side of Newcastle. That required run rate up to 8.9. And 3 very good batsmen are back in the pavilion.
There you go, the inside edge there, I think it was. The great cape by the keeper down in between the bat, the pad, and over the top of leg stump, and a great diving catch there. The wily, fast, medium, off-spinning Chad takes one in the first over with his second delivery.
The captain has delivered and put the Blasters under more unwanted pressure. James King is coming out to the middle. Cahill gone for 8, Hudson for 7, Montgomery for 6. No one has reached double figures yet, and that is sending alarm bells ringing in the SCG dressing sheds at the moment.
There's still a long way to go in this innings, but yeah, they're under pressure now. The Blasters, they will need a really good partnership now between the Wivel and King here, only to really step this innings up. From a point of view of no more wickets for at least 10 overs, hopefully, and start to work their way back to chase this total.
So Josh King is in. Wivel's at the non-strikers end on 7. And there is a fair bit of weight on the shoulders of these two batsmen at the moment here in the 6th over. And Chad with a nice ball just leaving King there outside the off stump.
And with the new batsman coming in, he's got to get set, couple of deliveries, and as that keeps happening, suddenly, the run rate starts to creep up and dot balls and pressure starts to build. And then while they're out there in the middle looking at that scoreboard pressure.
Full and driven. That's a really nice shot.
Great shot.
That was an exquisite cricket shot. It's racing down towards the cover boundary. It's going to be pulled back just inside, but that was certainly the shot of the Blasters innings so far. That was really nicely struck there by Joshua King. And he is able to pick up 3 runs. James King, my apologies, there with that shot as he goes along to 3 for 37.
It was a good chase by Joey Gillard all the way to the fence and a good throw back in, which was great for him, and kept it to 3.
Playing a miss outside the off stump there by Wivel. So Wivel on 7, King on 3. Just a wicket and 3 runs have come from this over, the 6th over. Last ball of the over. Chad's bowled well in this over, although this one put a bit of a mocker on him as it swings down the leg side. It's called a wide.
Yeah, 1 ball to go in this power play, and looking at where Lake Mac Attack were, they were at the end of the power play at 2 for 45. Blasters are just behind them if they don't let the scoreboard pressure get to them here, and they just build a partnership.
Chad in, pitches up, and this one flicked uppishly out through square leg. And they'll just settle for the single. It was well played by Wivel, although a little bit uppish. He retains the strike. 5 from the over, 3 for 39 after 6. Tim Cox has joined me in the commentary box. Tim, good to be chatting cricket with you, but Newcastle Blasters, they've got a big job ahead of them. I'm sure they wouldn't have envisaged losing 3 wickets in the first 6 overs of this power play.
Yeah, thank you very much. Great to be here. Yeah, it looks like a interesting next period of play here with the Blasters losing a few key early wickets. I think that especially that one of Hudson there definitely was a key wicket for the late Mac attack and a big loss for the Blasters early one, especially in that power play period, because that's where Hudson could come in and really make a big difference in the first 6 overs. So yeah, now the field spreads a little bit. You know, the Blasters can sort of set themselves in now, hitting the sweepers and things, and keep the scoreboard ticking over. But the run rate's fairly similar. Just a few wickets there lost in that the Blasters have lost. So interesting next period of play, certainly up to the halfway point of the innings.
So Wivell is probably the key here. He's been out there for 12 balls and found his way to 8. He faces up here to Madison, and that's a really good ball, swinging into the right-hander there and just pushing and poking at it. Been able to extract just a little more bounce out of this SCG pitch than the Blasters were able to get. Ball seemed to just hold up a little bit outside that off stump. Madison's made a really positive start here. That's not a great one. That's short and wide, and probably should have been worth 2 or 3 wides there, but that one will need to be re-bowled by Madison. Takes the score along to 3 for 40.
Yeah, he's missed the mark there, young Madison, but he's had a really good season up in the Newcastle competition to date, playing for the Charlestown club. Yeah, he's a young fella that's got a big future ahead of him.
This one's a little bit better as it's clipped away off the pads to short fine leg. It's cleaned up and it will go down as a leg bye. But they've done really well, the Mac attack, just to keep things tight here. They hasn't really been one over apart from the opening over that went for 10 that's really got away from them. Whereas conversely, the Blasters need to have at least one, but probably a couple of big overs where they can get 9 or 10 off an over, and maybe one over where they can knock 12 or 13 off, just to get them back on level peggings. That required run rate 9 runs per over at the moment. Worrying signs here in the 7th over. Madison in and again beats the outside edge outside the off stump. He might have just taken the pace a little bit off that one.
Yes, quite nicely across the line there. A little bit too close for the shot that trying to run it down to third man. But the Blasters have got the luxury of having the left and right combinations here in the top of the order. So obviously there's a very short boundary out to the eastern side. So you know, they can certainly make the most of that at either end now.
So James King waits and has to dig out a good Yorker length ball just on that off stump. Does well to scurry through for a single, but the Mac attack won't mind that. Singles aren't going to win the game for the Blasters if they can keep putting the ball in the right areas. They'll be happy with that. Really, for the Blasters, they need to find someone that can do what Jed Dixon did and really take on the attack and score 50 plus. Scored in quick time as well. His 71 came from only 47 balls.
Yeah, that was a brilliant innings by Jed. He was just able to identify, as we see this ball here by Madison. Another not tight line. Oh!
He's out. He's flicked it straight to the man at deep square leg on the boundary, and he took it probably half a step from inside the boundary. It was well taken in the end there by Jack Hartigan from the Hamilton Wicken Club. We say that from the pro players all the time, Tim, but that was very nicely done when you're not used to standing on big boundaries, and it was a nice shot by James King. Unfortunately, he picked out the one man in the vicinity, and he's on his way for 4. It's now 4 for 42.
He couldn't have picked him out any more better if he tried, but yeah, like he hit a very nice, lovely timing off his hip, but just got underneath it, and yeah, the guy at backward square leg took a comfortable catch. I think he had to move half a metre, so and inside the rope. But if he had got under a little bit more, could have on that short boundary, potential to go over that fielder there. But yeah, losing that 4th wicket now puts that extra pressure on the Blasters to get some momentum back into this innings. I think that's the key now. They desperately need a partnership through these middle overs, and they might have to resort to the ones and twos till these guys can build themselves into a handy partnership that will get them close enough, and then rely on some real big back end overs towards the end of the innings.
So Johnny Durham is out in the middle. He's joining King. So in fact, it wasn't James King that was the man that was dismissed. He's still there on 4, and Durham has joined him. So 4 for 42. It was Aaron Wivell, the man that departed. This ball driven hard back to the bowler, and almost had a shot at the stumps there, did Madison. That's continuing his good form. He's got 1 for 6 from his 2 overs, and that completes the 7th over. 4 for 42, just 6 runs per over is the run rate at the moment, and that required run rate is climbing. It is going north, and the run rate of the Blasters is going south. It's not good signs for them. They have 442 on the board and 4 down.
Yeah, that was apart from that one wide delivery, that was a very good over by young Madison. He kept his lines very tight, didn't give the batsman any width whatsoever, and obviously picked up that critical wicket of Wivell there as well. When he clipped it off his hip. But good areas from Madison, and Captain Chad will use his experience now and the luxury of having all the 5 players out on the boundary. He can he's a medium pace bowler, but he's got great variations, and certainly a number of off pace deliveries as well. So I'd be interested to see how he bowls to the 2 left-handers in the crease.
Durham faces up and drives that one out through the offside, but straight to the man there at a wideish mid-off position. So Chad continuing with his bowling, 1 for 5 in his 2nd over. Durham again trying to get it past the man. There's a shot at the stumps. It was a tight single, and they think about getting overthrows, but decide against it. So Durham is off the mark. He's on 1. King is on 4 for 43. Quite cloudy conditions around the Sydney CBD today. There was a little bit of drizzle before play started. The groundsman had to get the covers on to make sure the pitch stayed in good condition. This ball pitched up, and this will be caught. Easily done.
Oh.
He's put the ball back. I didn't know if he held on to it for it long enough, Tim.
We
but
didn't get a great view of that. I didn't know that was a Johnny Rhodes World Cup special there, but they're claiming it, and they're all celebrating. So another wicket has fall, the 5th one down for the Blasters.
King does go this time. It was out there, but I feel that Chad probably took a little bit of pace on it, maybe rolled his fingers across the seam. Yeah, he held on to it long enough as he went to the ground.
It was the sunglasses we saw drop, not the ball, and so all's well ends well for the Lake Mac attack to take their 5th wicket. But
Isaac Wallace with the catch there.
I did think at a quick glance that the elbows hit the ground. I saw something fall on, but it was the sunglasses. So there you go. So the Blasters, unfortunately for them, another partnership failed. I guess it's going to be the real chance they have to get through this match now is just securing a partnership, or certainly building a partnership. But at the moment for them, the wickets keep tumbling.
Yeah, 5 down for 43 in pursuit of 164. It's looking a world away, unfortunately, for them. Ben Balcombe, the wicketkeeper for the Blasters, he comes out.
Yeah, a lot of experience here with Benny Balcombe. Very experienced, very accomplished wicketkeeper batsman for Newcastle Blasters, but also Newcastle representative team, Newcastle Zone. So he's played a number of years in country championships and scores a lot of runs in Newcastle district cricket as well. So probably the ultimate guy, a perfect guy to come in this stage to try and restart the Blasters innings.
Durham's at the non-strikers end. Balcombe's facing, and Balcombe drops that onto the offside, and they run through for a single. So Balcombe off the mark straight away.
Showed great experience there. Just used his hands nicely, get himself in and get off strike nice and early on. 1 from 1 from Ben Balcombe. Yeah, I think he's a perfect guy to come into this stage, and I'll be looking to him now to really consolidate this innings. He'll probably take his time and pick his 1s and 2s early, but he certainly, when he wants to put the foot on the throttle, he certainly can.
This one launched over the top there by Durham, and he will come back and collect a couple. Trying to just take on that field with Not a whole lot of men out in the deep, just was able to chip that one over the top and pick up 2 runs.
Chad's subtle variations here, I think, are proving very fortunate for him. I don't think Durham timed that at all there. I'm pretty sure he wasn't where he was hoping to hit it.
It's ball short of length on his hip, and he works that straight to the man at short fine leg. He's unable to pick up a single there. So another very good over for Chad. 4 runs from it and a wicket. He's got 2 for 9 from 2, the captain, after he made 27 not out. And now they move themselves along to 5 for 46 after 8 overs. Certainly isn't a batting card that's going to be looked upon with great joy. Still no one that has made double figures as of yet. And Lowell, Foster, Geary and McTaggart, Bill's the batsman to come.
Yeah, so still plenty of batting to come and some good young batsmen in there as well. So, yeah, it'll go down to the end, but at the moment, certainly Lake Mac Attack on top, taking those five crucial early wickets in the first half of the innings.
So Madison's going to continue, no surprise. He's been bowling really well, 1 for 6 for him, although now he bowls wide down the leg side. That's another one to the Blasters total. I'll need plenty of that. That run rate creeping up towards 10 runs per over. Madison in. Short of length ball outside the off stump. He can't do anything without Balcombe. They've got a good mix of fielders in close and then a bit of protection out the deep. They've got a gully point cover mid-off, mid-on, and then a deep mid-wicket, deep square leg, deep fine leg, and also a deep third man. So plenty of protection out there for Madison, but he's been bowling so well that those fielders out in the deep haven't really had to move too much. And I think some of the fielders thought that might have been a caught behind and they started racing in, but it was a beautiful ball which just whizzed past the outside edge there of Balcombe.
Yeah, he summed up the length very nicely here, young Rory Madison. Just bowling that back of a length, making it very hard for the batter to get onto the front foot there and work it through. But yeah, angling into the body, beautiful piece of bowling.
Madison in this one, slapped through the offside. There's a little bit of a misfield, probably the first mistake we've seen in the field by the Mac Attack so far this afternoon. And they'll collect a single. So Durham is on 3, Balcombe 2. Runs just not coming for the boys in green at the moment.
Yeah, it's only the second run for the over to date. We're halfway through. Obviously, one was the extra, the wide first up. So building pressure here, the Lake Mac Attack by building dots through these middle overs.
Full outside the off stump, and that one's dug out. He was looking for the single. They'll get one here as there is a little bit of a misfield. And they'll collect a single. It's looking rather grim out there for the Blasters, though. That required run rate more than 10 and over. It needs to be, obviously, build a partnership is very important, but these 1s and 2s are not going to get the Blasters over the line.
Jed Dixon there, probably one of the best fielders in the Lake Mac Attack, missing that quite an elementary misfield there, and he's been sent to the boundary by his skipper.
It's probably the first mistake he's made all day, Tim, isn't it? To see Madison with a good ball. This could be a run out. Oh! A brilliant direct hit from Madison. He can't do anything wrong. And I think it's Jonty Durham is the man that has to go. He ran halfway up the wicket and was sent, and there was no one at the stumps. He had to make sure he got a direct hit, Madison. He took his time, set himself, and then it was a beautiful, gentle throw which cannoned into the stumps. The 6-wicket falls, and the Blasters, they're looking dead in the water at the moment, 6 for 49.
An absolute clinic display of fielding off your own bowling there in T20 cricket these days. The bowler, we do coach to the bowler is the extra fielder and does a great job in the ring there. So a lot of the times it's only half the job done after they release the ball, but a splendid bit of fielding off his own bowling there. And you're right, he had to hit. He did get three stumps to look at, but balanced himself perfectly, smashed them all down, and another wicket falls for the Blasters. They're in real strife now. It's 6 wickets, 6 for 49, and just can't they having trouble finding a partnership, finding guys that can bat for 3-4 overs together.
Madison still has 1 ball left in his over. He's got 1 for 9 in his third over. He's got a run out as well. He's done a really good job. A lot of these boys, good mates, having played cricket up to with each other in Newcastle. So I remember reading on the Cricket New South Wales pages, this will be out as well. He's got 2 and 2 balls. As Balcombe tries to slap that one out of the ground and hits it straight down the throat of the man on the boundary. And it's going from bad to worse for the Newcastle Blasters. 7 for 49 in pursuit of 164. Madison's great afternoon continues. He's got 2 for 9.
Yes, Balcombe, he saw it there. He probably was after a length like that and knew he was heading towards the short boundary, but didn't get anywhere near enough on it that he was hoping to. Didn't get it out of the middle of the bat. And again, that fielder, deep square leg, has been very busy out there. And you're right, Madison's having the time of a life. A brilliant run out, and then the very next ball, another wicket. So he's having a great day out there, and a great catch there. Did we get the...
Yeah, Jack Hardigan was out there.
Again, yeah, so a very good fielder. Under 18, 19 cricketer for Newcastle. He's been the representative teams for a number of years with the Colts and as well. So he's done a fantastic job there on the boundary for the Lake Mac attack.
So 7 for 49 now. Only 9 overs gone. Really remarkable. This collapse by Newcastle. I guess that's what happens in T20. You've got to always keep going for runs, and I don't think anyone's going to be holding any blame towards Ben Balcombe there going for that big shot. A couple of extra feet, it would have landed in the Daily Messenger stand, and we would have been talking about what a great shot it was. So Nick Foster, the captain, comes out. I'm sure he was hoping that he wouldn't have been needed if he had been needed in maybe the last few overs. Yeah,
look, a wealth of experience here coming out as Nick comes to the crease to bat with young Mitch Lowell as well from the University of Newcastle Cricket Club. So Mitch has been around Newcastle first grade for a couple of years now. Good all-rounder and a left-handed bat. So the left and right-handed combination will certainly help the Blasters here. But Nick's experience in trying to regroup these middle overs, and I'm sure he'll be telling young Mitch to stick with him here and let's just get through the next 5 overs and see what we can do to salvage this innings.
Westwood comes into the attack. He bowls right arm around the wicket and starts off with a dot ball. Such a tough opportunity for Lowell to come into, with the side on the verge of defeat. And already in the 10th over, 7 wickets down. He's back and he's cutting this one nicely. Gets it through the infield, and he'll come back and he'll get a couple. That was a good positive stroke by Mitchell Lowell.
Yeah, so little tactics here from Lake Mac attack, bringing Westwood into bowl. Bowls his sort of little cheeky off spinners, I guess. Probably not too much spin on the ball, but I think Captain Chad's probably looking to sneak a couple of quick overs here. They're sort of under pressure, so Westwood will roll in pretty quickly, ball after ball, sort of trying to rush a few overs to steal a couple of overs to the Blasters and just keep building that run rate, especially when there's 2 new batters at the crease. Nice one down to mid-off for Lowell, brings Captain Nick Foster on strike for his first ball, and just come back from the country championships this year. Obviously, Australian country championships couldn't take place, obviously due to COVID, unfortunately. But New South Wales country team, which Nick is the captain, the current captain, played ACT in a range of one-day and T20 matches only a couple of weeks ago down at Canberra. So more fixtures that the nation's capital had over the last little period. Plenty of cricket on down there.
Yeah, it's been cricket central, hasn't it, with all the BBL games and some of those matches happening down there. Normally the destination for a lot of second 11 cricket with the former ACT New South Wales country team, as this ball flicked nicely away by Foster, and he starts his innings. He picks up a single to go to 1, 7 for 53.
Yeah, and I think that's what they'll be looking to do. Like, it's probably, as I said before, with Josh Westwood, a part-time off spinner, coming in a bowl, he can probably steal a couple of overs here because being 7 down, the Blasters are not going to have too much confidence to try and really take him on. So, Captain Chad for the late Mac attack will get away with his 1s and 2s. That'll keep building the run rate up for the Blasters. They're in the unfortunate position of not having wickets in the shed for the last 10, so it's going to be a very tricky position for them to come back into this match and chase down that rather large total of 160 plus. Looking to go spin at both ends now after Rory Madison's fantastic spell.
So we're at the halfway mark, 7 for 53. Foster 1 from 2, Lowell 3 from 4, and Wallace is going to come into the attack. So a couple of bowling changes here for the Lake Mac attack.
Yep, Isaac Wallace will come into the attack from the Charlestown Cricket Club, bowling his leg spinners. So he'll have a go at taking on the left and right hand combination here, but he's got the ability to turn the ball as well, so it'll be interesting to see if there is much turn on this SCG wicket.
Short and wide, and this one's chopped and beaten the keeper as they scurry through for a single. So just the single to start. Lowell and Foster looking to build something here. It's been an incredibly frustrating performance, no doubt, from the Blasters. Having won the toss and elected to field, which certainly raised my eyebrows when I saw that. I think it can always be a safer option just to get runs on the board first up with minimal pressure as Wallace comes in. This will be a wide down the leg side. Oh,
looks like he's got away with that one, unless there's a clip on the pad, but fortune favours the bowler there by the look of it.
So it looked like a wide from our vantage position, but must have just clipped the pad on the way through. He's been right in the block hole though in these first few deliveries, Wallace.
Yeah, he's sort of an up pace sort of leg spinner these days. A lot of them are in the shorter form, looking for that zip off the pitch rather than the floating traditional leg break.
And they got through for 2 runs there. Pretty well run in the end. Foster was running to the danger end, and it was a fiery throw from the deep. But not enough to strand the Newcastle Blasters captain out of his crease. So they picked up 3 from this over. 108 required off 56 balls, but it's the 7 wickets been lost that is the issue. As Lowell slaps this one out to deep mid-wicket for a single. So Lowell showed his batting exploits. He's looked pretty comfortable out there. Played some good shots so far.
Yeah, he's a very accomplished all-rounder. Bowls some good medium paces as well when he gets the opportunity. But as a middle order bat, he's certainly got all the shots. And earlier in this competition, he played a pivotal partnership up in the preliminary rounds at Port Macquarie to get the Blasters through against the North Coast team in that. So there's a crucial partnership with him and young Aidan Cahill, who bowled very well early this morning. But again they were 9 wickets down, chasing. I think they had to put a 50 run partnership on for the last wicket to get through to these semi-finals today. So I guess with that experience of their preliminary rounds, it possibly could come down to a similar situation today, but chasing a little bit more of a higher total today, and so they certainly won't want that to be coming around to them again, but have that confidence that the young players can do the job.
Bowling continues from around the wicket from Westwood, and the batsmen are able to get their way through for a single. So dealing in singles at the moment. I'm sure they would love to come up with a couple of big shots, but it's been some really accurate and tidy bowling from the Mac attack, as well as some great fielding. .58 on the board, 7 down. Nick Foster faces up here to Westwood and just tucks that one rather nonchalantly onto the onside. There was a bit of a mix-up again. It was almost another run out for the Blasters. Foster had to turn around quickly and make his way back into his ground.
That'll test the old legs of Nick Foster. He got a very well run quick fire two before in the previous over, and he was pretty keen to get one again there, but not to be.
This one short of darted into the stumps. A little bit of extra pace there from Westwood.
This is exactly what Captain Chad is looking for from young Westwood. Just, rushing overs through, ball after ball, not getting the batters time at all to breathe and set and think about where they want to hit the ball. He's just really darting them in, and with a great angle as well.
Short and wide, this one carted away aggressively, but picks out that man in the deep that is there to cut off some of those shots. So probably doesn't get the full value for the shot on that occasion, does Lowell, but he has moved along to 8. He's the equal top scorer now for the Blasters, which probably tells you the story of what's happened so far today.
Yes, that's right, and it's, we've got up to 2 runs over 2 runs a ball now, so obviously for the Blasters to have any luck or be successful in this match, we'll need some massive overs. They'll obviously, these 2 batters are probably looking to set themselves, get used to the pace of the wicket, and then be certainly targeting that short boundary, because they're going to need a couple of 20-plus overs to get anywhere near this match.
Yeah, required rate up to 12.6. This one's dabbed into that gully region by Lowell, and Tia retained the strike. So 5 singles from the over. Lowell has moved to 9. Foster is on 4, 7 for 62. Looking to build towards something, try and, I guess, add some respectability to the scoreboard as well. It hasn't been a fruitful 12 overs for the Blasters. After earlier today, we saw the late Macatac lose the toss. They were sent in 4 for 163 off their allotted 20 overs. And it was Jed Dixon who led the way. 71 from 47, well backed up by the skipper Adrian Chad, who made 27 not out.
Yeah, that's proving to be a pivotal partnership, that partnership there between the captain and the vice-captain for the late Macatac, to get that really high total of 160 plus. Great start by Wallace there, the leg spinner, first ball. He's hit his lengths pretty well early on here in his little spell. He's got plenty of protection on the deep outfield for the left-hander, although he's put that one down leg side, and that will go all the way for 4 runs. A great shot by young Lowell through backward square, fine leg, the short fine leg position. Yeah, that was a loosener by Wallace. He'll be hoping to change his line for the next delivery.
Yeah, drove that short and wide. That was easy pickings for Lowell. He did well to beat the man at short fine leg. And Lowell becomes the first Blasters batsman to reach double figures in this innings. He's gone to 13 from 14.
And the first boundary we've seen in a little while as well, Jack. So that just shows the period of play that we've been going through the last few overs, and with those wickets. I can't remember the last boundary actually.
Yeah.
It was quite a while. So so a good relief valve for young Mitch Lowell and the Newcastle Blasters.
Yeah, he's playing a handy little innings here. He's no doubt building his confidence, getting to play on the SCG, and if your side is 7 down and in a lot of trouble, it's not something to be taken for granted, and he's enjoying his time out there. The young man has moved along to 14.
Yeah, and the opportunity to bat with Nick Foster as well, who with his wealth of experience, as I said, over 20 years of representative cricket through both Newcastle Cricket Zone and Newcastle and New South Wales country.
Short tries to sweep this one across the line, but playing a miss there from Foster. He's just struggled a little bit to find his groove, particularly against the slower bowlers. You feel if he connects with one, it could be disappearing into the Bill O'Reilly stand. And he's got a little bit of an edge on this one as it's run its way to the edge of the circle. And will pick himself up a single. So 6 from that over with the first boundary in some time as well. 13 gone, 7 for 68. Lowell 14 and Foster on 5.
Young Wallace there, apart from that one he dragged down to Mitch Waller, hit it past fine leg. He's getting a little bit of purchase there, a little turn off the SCG wicket, so that'll be pleasing him to and give him the confidence to. I'm interested to see if he does try and flight one up the next over and just sort of tease that batter. It's a perfect time to try it. See if the batter is going to try and take him on, but yeah, no, pretty reasonably good over.
Well pitched up as he backs away Foster and tries to cut that through the offside. He's got a bit of attention on that offside. There's a point, a backward point, a extra cover, and then a deep cover he has to attend with. He whips this one across the line and gets it into that vacant position backward of square leg for a single. So Foster going along to 6. So this partnership is starting to build a little bit. It was 7 for 49. So they put on 20.
Be interested to see these couple of balls how young Mitch Lowell plays this. He's got the short boundary now. There is 3 guys out there, but he's had a bit of a look at Westwood the last couple of overs, and whether he knows that his team need a boundary or 2, and whether he'll just have a look, maybe walk across, see if he can get under with the angle, and put him over the mid-wicket fence, or if he's just content to keep going the 1s and 2s.
This one's short at the body, and there's a little bit of mix-up here. The throw's a little bit wayward. Otherwise, I think Mitchell Lowell was in trouble. There's been a real lack of communication running between the wickets for the Blasters today. And that one was almost another one which would have really hurt.
Yeah, he was going to be short of his ground there.
He's hammered this one away, and that'll be 4. That's a really good shot. 2 men out there who's able to dissect them out in the deep. Step back and hammered it. Showed good strength and good timing there to pull that into the gap. And Lowell having not hit a boundary, and the Blasters having not hit a boundary in some time. They've hit 2 in the last half a dozen deliveries. And the score out to 73 for 7.
That's what I was just talking about. Mitch Lowell, if he got his length there, I was just thinking he might have targeted that, and it was well placed, very well placed in between the wide long on and mid-wicket position. So a great shot.
This one's short. That's a really poor ball. That's been pulled away through fine leg, and that's another boundary. That was a real half-tracker there by Westwood. And they end with a flurry. A couple of boundaries in succession to Lowell. They get 9 from the over. He moves to 22. And the score all of a sudden looking a bit more respectable. 7 for 77 for the Blasters, chasing 164.
Yeah, that's what can happen with the part-time bowler. He sort of got a bit flustered there and panicked with the ball before. That was a fantastic shot by Mitch Lowell, and then got the ball that he's always been looking for, which is a half tracker down the leg side, and just comfortably put that away for another boundary. So turned out to be a great over for the Blasters, but they will need plenty more of them.
So 14 overs gone, 87 required from 36. It would take something miraculous, that required run rate, 14.5 runs per over. But Foster and Lowell having a bit of fun out here at the moment. This 8th wicket stand with 28, which is the best partnership of the innings. Wallace continuing, and again is able to beat the outside edge there, or beat the bat of Foster as he's looking to get down on one knee and try and sweep across the line. He feels confident, does the skipper.
Yeah, he was looking to target that short boundary once again.
Again, he's picked out a fielder out in the deep, and it's going to go for 6. I think he's stepped out in the boundary, and the umpire's put his finger up.
Him out. This will be an interesting
replay.
replay.
This will be very interesting. So the celebrations there, he might have just let it go before he went over the boundary. We're a long way away from that mid-wicket boundary, but if he has taken this legitimately, this is an incredible piece of athleticism and catching ability. Regardless, Foster has to go for 6, and it is now 8 for 77. He finally got one of them, and I thought he might have had enough for it to go over the boundary. So he's caught the ball there. He's lost kind of control of himself. He's thrown it up.
Brilliant.
And as long as he gets both feet back in, yeah, that is a great piece of fielding. You see that in the BBL. You see that in Test cricket all the time. But for regional players that don't get to practice that kind of skill all the time, that is an incredible piece of fielding and a very well-deserved wicket. 8 for 77.
You're 100% right there, Jack. Yeah, the benefit of watching the BBL, and we just had a Magic final with the Sixers winning a couple of nights ago at this venue, but these players have been able to watch that regularly, and the professional players do that time and time again in this short form. It's something, a skill set that they do practice for all the time now, and he executed that brilliantly. Then he was clearly off balance to be able to release just before that millisecond of stepping over the boundary and then regather. Fantastic catch there to remove the skipper for the Newcastle Blasters, which once again leaves them reeling with 8 wickets down. Look, it's I don't like to call the fat lady singing, but if she's not singing, she's certainly warming up her voice anyway, that's for sure. To the end of this match, unfortunately, will be the demise for the Blasters. But a couple of young good bats to come in, and we'll see how they handle the next few overs.
This one thrown in, swept, that hits him on the pad. That's going to be gone. First ball, McTaggart swinging and sweeping hard across the line, and the youngster only lasts one ball out in the middle. He departs. And the end is 9 now for the Newcastle Blasters in the Plan B Regional Bash. Wallace has gone bang, bang and picked up 2 wickets and 2 balls. He's got 2 for 10, and the Blasters are 9 for 77.
Looked fairly adjacent for us for this angle that we've got here, and bit of a risky shot there for McTaggart to take that on straight away first ball without getting used to the pace or the bounce of the wicket, but. Yep, right on cue there, young Wallace, and very well bowled and deserving for him, and puts him on a hat-trick.
Yeah, chance for not only a hat-trick, but to get 3 wickets. 3 wickets is generally you've had a good bowling session.
Absolutely.
if you've collected 3 wickets in a T20 game, and he's looking good there. But good support by Madison, 3 overs 2 for 9. Chad 2 overs 2 for 9. Wallace 2.3 overs 2 for 10. Riley 2 overs done for 15. Charlton 2 overs 1 for 11. And also there's been Josh Westwood, who's bowled 3 overs, none for 18. So only 14.5 overs through this innings as we see Josh Geary come out at number 11.
Yeah, Josh is interesting. That shows the depth of the Newcastle Blasters batting lineup, although it hasn't sort of proved fortunate for them today. But Josh Geary, a well-accomplished all-rounder, played a number of years for New South Wales Country, played many years for the for Merewether, the very successful cricket club in Newcastle District Association. But yeah, coming in number 11 here, there's not a lot he can gain except for enjoying spending a Monday afternoon on the SCG.
He's slapped this first ball out there to deep mid-wicket, so there won't be a hat-trick, but there is still an opportunity with 2 more balls left in the over for him to finish the innings. Geary goes to 1. Lowell's been good, 22 from just 20. And just tucks that with its soft hands onto the onside. Does Lowell. He's been far and away the best bat here for the Newcastle side.
So Jack, in this position, there's 1 wicket left. You got Lowell's starting to get his groove now as Wallace comes in to Geary, but yeah, the run rate's 16, almost 16 and a half and over. There's 2 ways these 2 batters can look at this. They can enjoy the last few overs and keep the Lake Mac attack out there, I guess, at the SCG, or they can throw everything into the throw the kitchen sink out, and if a few big hits come off and few sixes here and there, and I guess have the honour of being able to hit a 6 at the SCG might be something they can think about as well. But yeah, the opportunity or the chance they can actually revive this game is certainly diminishing, if all but diminished, especially with a run rate like that. If it was half that, 8 and over, possibly they could work to something. But 16, yeah, very difficult now for the Blasters.
So Westwood beginning his final over, none for 18. This was a wide one, and that'll be called a wide. He just tried to push that through a little bit quicker. Yeah, a couple of big hits adds a bit of respectability. You get up to 100. The defeat doesn't look quite as large as if you dismiss for 80 or 85. Lowell drags that one onto the leg side for a single, but a really good performance here by Lake Mac attack. Their bowling and batting and fielding, it's all been A+ from them today. All set up by making 163 in the when they were batting, and they really haven't given the Blasters too much of an opportunity, apart from the first over, as we see a attempted reverse sweep there that is a swing and a miss outside the off stump.
Yeah, no, the Lake Mac attack, we saw the Sydney Sixers go back-to-back last year. The Lake Mac attack are the defending champions of the Plan B Regional Bash, so they'll be looking to repeat the Sydney Sixers efforts of Saturday night and go back-to-back in this competition. It does.
Well, there could be a run out here. He gets back, thankfully. Was, again, running halfway down the wicket there was was Lowell, which has happened a few times today, but managed to get back into his crease with the throw having to come from right out in the deep. Again, reverse sweep comes out and the inside edges it onto his body. They've just tried to use that shot a few times in these last few deliveries. Mitchell Lowell.
Yeah, that previous ball where they Mitchell
It's hit him up on the helmet, I think.
Yeah, he's got down quite low and he has littered it.
Plenty of air given. This ball's hammered. That's going all the way. That's a good shot. That was a really good shot from Lowell. He certainly picked that one up. That was just in that swinging arc there, Tim, that you swing across the line, and it looked like it came right off the meat of the bat for 6.
Yeah, using the angle very nicely there from Weston going into his body, not turning it away. So that I think Mitch Lowell's been eyeing that ball off for a couple of overs now. He hit that boundary 2 overs ago between wide mid-wicket, but he certainly got underneath that one nicely.
See if he can go again. He is going to go again. This one he's got along the ground. He's got it in between the 2 fielders there, and he'll come back for 2. So Mitchell Lowell obviously sensed a bit of an opportunity against the part-timer. He manages to pick up a 6 and a 2, and they get 11 from the over. It was a good one for the Blasters. 9 for 90 now. Lowell is 32 from 25. By far and away, he's quadrupled the next closest score, so he's been by far and away the best bat for them, and no doubt a real confidence boost for Mitchell to take back when he goes back to playing club cricket in Newcastle. Bit of a bragging rights down at the pub with the mates, scoring 30-odd not out at the SCG. Hit a 6 at the SCG.
Absolutely,
Might try and hit a few more in these next few overs as well.
And Wallace, the leg spinner, continuing here to the left-hander Geary.
It's bowled well, Wallace. Into his 4th over figures of 2 for 12. Very tidy figures for a slow bowler.
He's bowled very well, yeah. Apart from that one single ball that can happen with the leg spinner that he did drag, his lines have been impeccable.
Thrown up, and again Geary feeling for that one outside the off stump. Of course, Lake Macatac have held back some of their pace bowlers as well, giving it more to some of the slower bowlers. Chad still has 2 overs less. He's got 2 for 9. Middleton has got 1 left. He's got Madison. He's got 1 left. He's got 2 for 9 as well. And Geary looking to swing across the line there. A shout for LBW falls on deaf ears. But looks at both these batsmen. If there's anything a little bit short from the slow bowlers, they're going to throw the kitchen sink at it.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what. I think Chad might bring one of his spearheads back on the next over, maybe to finish this game off. Especially with those bowlers having a few overs left, and sort of get them ready for the fixture this evening, which will be the final of the Plan B Regional Bash. I'm not sure who we look to bring into the attack, but I'd say that the part-timer Josh Westwood did a very good job through those middle overs, rushing them through. But I'd say there'll be a change next over.
Reverse sweep, and he gets this one, but hits it probably a little bit too well. I think he's injured himself, Mitchell Lowell. The old sniper's got him. He's I don't know what's happened there, whether it's a cramp or whether he's
certainly hunched
pulled a
over.
muscle.
And you're right. The sniper has got him in one of the grandstands here, but I don't know whether he played that reverse shot. And
really nice sweep shot there from Geary. He'll get a boundary for it. Very well timed. Just lost his line there a little bit. Did Wallace, short and wide outside the leg stump, and a batsman of the quality of Geary is not going to miss out on those ones. Geary picks up 4. He goes to 7 and takes the score to 9 for 96. Tim, such an advantage playing in this first game, because we've obviously got the second of the preliminary finals coming up at 2 o'clock. That's between the ACT Aces and the Irana Outlaws. That, if it goes its full length, goes to 5, and then you've got to back up. You only get an hour's break, whereas the Lake Macatac boys here are probably going to knock off at about 1 o'clock, and then they've got 5 hours to just, I guess, rest, have something to drink, have something to eat, put their feet up, watch the game. It is a real advantage playing first when you do have these double-header, triple-headers.
Absolutely, yeah. So, especially if it's a little overcast here, and the temperature obviously not high, but it's certainly a bit humid as well, so that could drain one of the two teams that does progress to the final for the next game, out of the Outlaws and the ACT.
Daniel Chillingworth comes into the attack. He's coming over the wicket. as Lowell tries to thunder that one. He's still limping quite significantly. I wouldn't be surprised if Mitchell Lowell channels his inner Darren Lehman and just tries to do a bit of a stand and deliver here in the latter part of the innings.
Daniel Chillingworth has got an interesting story. He's just come back from having last season at the in Sydney Premier Cricket for the Gordon Cricket Club back in Newcastle, but was a very accomplished leg spin bowler and with high credentials, but then had the misfortune of a finger injury that prevented him from turning and spinning the ball. So he's taken up medium paces this year, and he's been really effective. He's got a lot of change-ups and obviously quite accurate as well. He's doing a fantastic job for his home club in Newcastle this year.
He's had a good start here. This one a little bit short and a little bit wide, and it's cut away backward a point. And Geary will get 2. Lowell, that injury not hampering him as much as we thought. He tried to take off there for a third. He maybe wants to get back on strike. But Josh Geary playing a good knock. He's got the score up to 99 now. He's 9 off 10. Certainly not the worst number 11 batsman I've seen play at the SCG.
Definitely not a number 11 batsman. Seen him score many of a good score or good total or good innings over the years. That's for sure. No, he's a genuine all-rounder. A lot of experience with ball in hand. Got great change-ups with his medium paces. Got a good bouncer as well when he wants to bend his back. But yeah, very accomplished batsman as well.
That leg buys brought up the 100 for the Newcastle Blasters. And Lowell swats that, almost a tennis-like slap down the ground. For the single, he moves along to 35. Wonder if Mitchell Lowell has one eye on maybe a 50 at the SCG. 15 away with 2 overs. It would take a couple of big hits, but we've seen that he's capable of doing that.
Yes, I'm sure he does. Something to take a memory away from the game.
Chillingworth in, and this ball, it's on the pad and ricochets away. There's some half-hearted cries, and then they're going to get an overthrow there, which we've seen a little bit today. Some of the players a little bit gung-ho, and a single is going to be given. It's going to go down as a leg bye. So 6 from that over. Only 4 will go against the name of Luke Chillingworth. Geary on 9. Lowell on 35, and they've recovered sufficiently. They were 7 for 49. I think we thought at that stage, Tim, maybe the Blasters were going to be blasted out for 55 or 60, but they've done well to recuperate a little bit, show a little bit of pride in the jumper, and get the score up over 100.
Absolutely, yeah. Mitch Lowell's played a pivotal innings for that, and to take a little bit of a pride away from the local derby. The first time these two teams, obviously in the Newcastle zone area, the Lake Macatac's 3rd season into this competition. Probably one of the newest teams in, or late additions, where the Newcastle era is broken up into 2, and they've been very successful. Obviously, defending premiers, winning the title last season.
Rory Madison comes back into the attack and starts well. There could be a run out here, and there will be a run out. Madison, he can do no wrong. It just takes one ball for him to come back and end the innings. He finishes with 2 run-outs and 2 wickets. Geary just trying to work that onto the onside and a little bit over-exuberant. And Madison, with that young frame of his, was able to scoop the ball up and run out the number 11 batsman for the Newcastle Blasters. So the Lake Macatac continue their dream run after winning and drawing their opening 2 games of the preliminary rounds. They've won this first preliminary final here in the Plan B Regional Bash in convincing fashion by 61 runs. It means that they advance through to the Plan B Regional Bash final, which is to be played later tonight at 6 p.m. They'll take on either the ACT Aces or the Arana Outlaws. And now the Macatac boys, they can just put their feet up for the next few hours, have a few cold drinks and have some nice lunch and relax and watch the ACT Aces and the Arana Outlaws battle each other. But before we wrap up proceedings here and take a break on the live stream, just get Tim's thoughts on this bowling and fielding performance by the Lake Macatac. A very impressive performance by them.
Yes, it was. They did a fantastic job, and they get a slight early mark too. They're bowling Newcastle Blasters out with a couple of overs to spare. So, no, a very comprehensive win to the Lake Macatac in a local derby, that's for sure. They certainly got bragging rights with this fixture this morning, which sets up a very interesting final tonight as they progress through, and I know they're very determined to go back to back. And as I said before, we saw the Sixers be able to achieve that on Saturday night, and it looks like the Lake Mac Attack now have that opportunity to repeat that performance and go back to back this evening as well, 2 days later. Very interested in this next game though. The ACT Aces are playing the Irana Outlaws. I've obviously had a bit to do with the Irana Outlaws and was able to play for them and also coach them in the year that they were successful a couple of years ago. But it's great to see them back at the SCG in finals mode after a couple of lean years. But they've both got some absolute stars in their side though, and actually got some ex-BBL players playing for them. So Blake Dean for the Aces and Tim Armstrong for the Irana Outlaws. So both ex-Sydney Thunder players, and Tim had a little bit of time over at Perth as well. So very interested to see they'll hold the key to the next match, plus some other fantastic young players that are coming through from both teams that are in the pathway system. So a great fixture coming up in the afternoon for the Thunder Conference final to see who takes on the Lake Mac Attack, who are thoroughly deserving victors here. Jed Dixon's innings there and that partnership with Jed and Adrian Chad proved pivotal to setting up that that very quite above target score, we'll call 160 plus. We thought that was always going to be enough, and it certainly did come that way when those wickets fell early for the Blasters, and they never really got in the run chase except for young Mitch Lowell's innings there, which he can take away as a nice little cameo not out for his first game at the SCG.
We'll just go through the scorecard before we wrap things up here for the Newcastle Blasters. Unfortunately, just weren't able to get going. Cahill ran out arms for 8. Hudson caught Chad, bowled Charlton for 7. Wivel caught Hartigan, bowled Madison for 8. Montgomery caught Hainsworth, bowled Chad for 6. King caught Wallace, bowled Chad for 4. Durham was run out Madison for 4, one of his 2 run-outs. Balcombe caught Hartigan, bowled Madison for 2. Foster caught Hart, bowled Wallace for 6. McTaggart, LBW Wallace, first ball for a duck, and Geary was run out Madison for 9. So Lowell was the star of the show. He finished 35 not out from 29 with 3 4s and a 6, and the Blasters all out for 102. The bowling figures: Bailey 2 overs, none for 15. Charlton 2 overs, 1 for 11. Madison 3.1 overs, 2 for 9. We did have 2 run-outs as well. Chad 2 overs, 2 for 9. Westwood 4 overs, none for 29. Wallace 4 overs, 2 for 18. And Chillingworth 1 over, none for 4. So a big win there for the Lake Mac Attack. They win by 61 runs. They go through to the Plan B Regional Bash Final to be played later tonight at 6 p.m. But we'll be back in with all the action in an hour. The second semi-final, preliminary final, will be played. The Thunder Conference Final between the ACT Aces and the Irana Outlaws. That's happening all at 2 o'clock. We'll see you then.
What's your plan for match day?
What's your plan B? If you're drinking, don't drive.